Hey, say hi.
I hit harder than that.
Think I'm slow? Eat my dust.
You think injury robbed me of playing sports? Think again.
What do you think I'm here for? I'm not here to be inspirational.
I'm here to play.
I'm here to have fun.
I'm here to win.
This is what I do.
This is what we do.
Are you going to support us from the sidelines?
Or are you going to jump in the game?
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Richmond Oval in Richmond, British Columbia. Steve Erickson, Ben Dooley. Our pleasure making the call for both games today, coming to you on this Mother's Day, and special happy Mother's Day to everyone watching this one. Benny, if we didn't say happy Mother's Day, both you and I would really be in trouble.
Yeah, exactly. It's very important to wish all the mothers out there happy Mother's Day.
Big event, the Canadian National Sledge Hockey. 4 teams, Ben, that are competing in this one. Team Ontario, Team Quebec, BC, as well as Alberta. Who was a strong one? Because you and I have covered this for the whole weekend, but who do you think the stronger team was coming into the weekend?
I think, Alberta has a real strong edge. They play together all year. A lot of the guys are on the same team. So that's a huge part is that cohesiveness is a key to Alberta's game.
First game we're going to be seeing today is Team BC, and they're going to be taking on Team Ontario. Somewhat surprised and subdued Team Ontario as well. I don't think they expected to be in this game. I think they expected to be in the final one.
Yeah, they played Quebec last night and lost 5-3. A very, very devastating loss for Ontario. They're a young team, and they certainly thought that a gold medal might have been possible. But now they have to focus on the bronze medal game.
All right, Ben, you and I are going to turn our attention to the game right now. Before we do, we're going to throw it to the coaches' interviews. We had a chance to talk to both coaches for the respective teams earlier on, so let's listen to what the coaches had to tell us. Todd, first off, welcome to British Columbia, and not the record that you wanted to come into the final championship game, but you still got here regardless.
Yeah, I think anybody comes into a tournament, they're not looking to play in the bronze medal game, but we talked about, like a lot of coaches would, we're playing for pride here. We want to leave this place on our terms, not somebody else's, so we're looking for a really good game, and we know BC improved during the course of the tournament. As any coach will tell you, as you go through and play 4 or 5 games in a short amount of time, you see a lot of improvement. So we're expecting a really good game today.
You've got a big program back in Ontario. Tell us briefly about it.
Yeah, our program's been going on for quite a few years now, and we've got probably more players in Ontario than anywhere. And our Ontario team, Sledge Team Ontario, has been going for 10 years. And we've been very successful at moving people onto the national program, which is our goal. If we look at the roster in Korea, the games that just passed, 8 of the 16 players in that gold medal game came through our program. So we're really pleased at our development record.
Who's starting in goal for you today?
Chris Wood is starting. We normally would have had a little bit more even split between the two goaltenders, but Chris was actually in bed for 2 days at the hotel feeling sick. So he's feeling better, and he'll play for us today, and we expect a big game from him.
And lastly, what's the one key you have to do to overtake Team BC?
Our speed is something that we work on constantly, and trying to play with speed. And sometimes we're more successful than others, but if our speed game is working, it allows our forecheck to go, allows us to play laterally through the neutral zone, and try to get some breaks down the outside.
All right, Todd, thanks very much for doing this. I appreciate it, and good luck in the game.
Thank you very much.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back. Special thanks to both coaches for taking the time out of their busy schedule prior to the game today to welcome us to the broadcast, as well as spend some time and let us know what their teams are expecting. So the game is officially underway, and Team Ontario is in the black color jerseys, pretty much like the old LA Kings jerseys, Benny.
Yeah, certainly inspired by the old LA Kings jerseys, for sure.
That's when Gretzky was down there.
Yeah.
I think it was McNulty owned the team and all that. But hope everyone's enjoying the call for the game. I know we just got underway. There are 3 15-minute periods, cleans between each one. So as they have control, waits. Team BC are in the blue jerseys, and they're going from left to right on your sets at home. And Team Ontario naturally going the opposite way. It's blocked, intercepted out in the neutral ice area, kept onside. They have to tag back up at the blue line area. They do. They circle back towards their own line. Heavy hit, throwing just right in front of the old players bench, normal players bench over here, and we'll get to the configuration of the arena in the next short little while. They have control, pushing the back inside once again. Norris comes inside for Team BC, continues to press inside. Block, stop, goes after this one. Molnar is in the corner. Molnar throws it back around, goes over on the far right side wall this time. Having it against the boards, trying to pick this one. Redding has control, comes out of the corner, takes a high shot. We've got a penalty indicated by the referee. Referee's indicating that he's calling a penalty, and this penalty will be going against Team Ontario as we have a heavy collision on the far side. Good start to the game, Penn.
Yeah, BC certainly coming out strong, getting a good first shot, and that's going to be a key to their game is to, really put the pressure on Team Ontario. Ontario is certainly the favorite here, but if BC can start strong and stay strong throughout the game, they certainly have a chance here today.
Well, I think it's a start that Team Ontario was not expecting from Team BC. Team Ontario had the puck down inside their zone real for a brief short second.
Yeah, BC, they're missing a star player in Michael Lee, and their goalie, Trent Seymour, is out too. But that they're not letting that get to them.
No, not at all. Drop the puck. It's back. We'll get the officials' names as quick as we can. They have control of it. Waits. Team BC still trying to throw it against the wall over on the far right side this time. Bly comes inside. He challenges after it. Now goes back the other way. And Robert Holm goes after it. Out of his reach. Not by much, but enough just to misplay this one. Now they go the other way and work their way all the way up. And Duguay comes back down. Duguay throws it cross ice back over to Swafford. Swafford comes in, looks, goes in, takes a shot. This is blocked. Swafford gets it a second time. Still fights for it. Everybody's pushing for this one. They challenge now. It goes back out the neutral ice area. Picked up by Team BC. Heavy check thrown over on the far side once again. That was Norris that was taken off of the puck. Norris gets control, throws it back in the middle part of the ice once again, and Holm goes after it. Just narrowly missed that one. We've got about a minute and 19 seconds remaining in the minor penalty. And now it's thrown all the way down the ice in the left side, and Sam Swafford will go after this one. Swafford behind the net. Waits. Mapes comes in after him. Mapes stays with him. Swafford's still inside. Also coming in is Dwayne Evans. Tell you a bit of a story about Mr. Evans earlier on about his nickname known as Popeye. As all his family and friends are going to say, Steve, nice going. You give away a trade secret. Knowing Dwayne for a long, long time. Back around over in the wall on the left side. Now they cleared it back inside the zone. Intercepted. Now they have it. Heard a quick whistle on the far side. Not sure what the whistle was for. Have an injured. I think we've got an injured player down on the ice.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to deal with an injury, and that's something that's a bit more common in sledge hockey. Is the guys really hit each other hard, and when they go into the boards, there's no give because those boards are hard as rock.
Yeah, the boards they don't give at all. So we have a face-off in the neutral ice area once again. Martin will come in to take the draw for Team Ontario. His counterpart on the draw on the other end was Team BC player. That's Bruce Redding. Throwing it over on the left side boards. Molnar goes after it. Molnar couldn't clear it out of his own zone. It was stolen, intercepted, and kept inside by Blanchard this time. And Blanchard goes in the corner. This is blocked in front. And Team BC coming all the way out of their own zone, up to Norris, and Norris gets control. Norris goes around, gets around one player. Riley stays with him. Riley, Norris going against the wall on the far side. We have an offside, a whistle on the play, and a face-off back in the neutral ice area. We talked about the tempo and the the speed of the game so far, but I want to talk, you had alluded to me yesterday about one of the rules that not a lot of people might be familiar with.
Yeah. So one of the rules in sledge hockey is a penalty called T-boning, which involves two players hitting each other in the shape of a T, and the player making the contact can get a pretty severe penalty just because of how dangerous a hit that can be.
Yeah, there's no give at all. You T-bone somebody in a sport like this, it's pretty significant, and you never want anyone to get seriously hurt or hurt in general. So they have control of it. Team Ontario going after this one. This is Blanchard that was taken off it. Blanchard's the captain for Team Ontario. Now it goes back the other way. Interesting, I was talking to the coaching staff. Todd Sargent for Team Ontario told me that he comes from London. Family and friends and relatives living back there. Grandmother lived off of Dundas Street, just down the road from Kellogg's Cornflakes and McCormick's in London. Far side. This is picked back up and intercepted by Blanchard. Blanchard dropped it and leaves this one back for Duguay. Duguay goes after it. Collision on the far side. They throw it inside the zone. Nice play to keep it back inside the zone, and Blanchard goes in. He takes a shot right through the crease over on the far side wall. They're trying to pick it back up again. And Calmont has it. Waits. Trying to circle from behind the net. Goaltender. I believe that's Beno is the goaltender. Am I correct on that one?
Beno. Yeah.
He's the one that's in, and we talked earlier on about the goaltender that's out. Norris goes against the wall. Heavy Norris was in on a collision course on that one right there. Good thing the board stopped him with that one, Ben. He could have been going back to the coffee shop in the lobby. Now they continue to back out. Well played. Camone goes inside. Camone goes and stays with his counterpart number 16, and Redding was there, but they were offside. One extra play at the blue line put him offside, Ben.
And I want to take a second here to highlight a player, Norris. We've seen a lot of him in the last few minutes here. He's a real fast player, and he's 18 years old from Maple Ridge, and he's starting to get noticed by the guys over at Hockey Canada. So if BC's going to have success here, he's going to be a key.
And it's nice to have a young player of his stature get involved in the program as well, because that's really what's needed.
Exactly. BC needs a lot of young kids to come out and build the future here in BC.
Yeah, you can ill afford just to take it for granted that they're going to come to you, because they're not going to come to you. You've got to make the first step to get yourself involved. Cross ice pass. They go back around the other way, trying to get control. Martin was the one that had it. Now it goes back in the corner, and they continue to press inside. Everybody's going after this one as they grab it. Well played one more time, and they just lobbed it out in the neutral ice area, and Riley's going to chase this one back down. Martin's the trailer. Riley and Martin, the two of them going back after this one. Waiting for it, and we have an offside call. And number 22, we should make mention for Ontario, is Picton. Christina Picton. She's a real little speedster from the back end, too.
Yeah, she's real small, and that helps you. You really need to be a small players have the advantage here with the speed. That's for sure.
Well, at least you and I both fit in that category.
Exactly.
If I want something I want to get out of the cupboard, all I have to do is ask my grandson, because he's about 6'3". I would be 6'3" on a ladder. So from the draw, Holm goes after it, takes his man off the puck, continues, waits. Holm continues to press in. They go after this one again, and Picton steals it. Right in front of our broadcast location. Picton pushed off the puck by Holm. Now they continue to press inside, and they chase this one back down. Well played that time, and they go inside. Fighting for it, taking it back behind the net. Martin was the one that threw it in from the blue line. Quick line change coming up for Team Ontario, and they'll give this one back all the way over to Riley. Riley goes in, takes a shot, nice stop, and Bonneau comes out with a huge save on that play right there. And interesting, you were having a little bit of a one-on-one conversation downstairs with Bonneau as they were getting ready to come up the elevator too.
Yeah, I've known Bonneau for over 12 years. He's been around, and he's an interesting player. They've kind of transitioned him from defense into goal as he gets older. He becomes a little less mobile, but he's still a great goaltender, and he's doing a real good job so far.
I'll let you into the secret, Benny. The older you get, the less mobile you get. I can tell you that right up front. You'll learn that. You're not yet, but you'll learn it. Believe me, you will. So from the draw, they pulled it all the way back this time. That was Redding that won the draw, but it goes all the way over. Cross ice on the far side this time. Blanchard comes in. Blanchard's trying to take the shot. We've played about almost 6 minutes, and we have a penalty call this time again.
And Ontario's starting to put on the pressure here, getting a lot of offensive zone time. But BC's doing a good job of, limiting the shots and keeping them to the outside, which is a real key, because one of the easiest places to score on a Sledge hockey goalie is in the top corner. And if you're shooting from the outside, it's pretty hard to roof it top corner.
Well, they get in fairly close. I noticed that when I was out here on Friday, and again yesterday with you, that they get in really close. Some of these young players have some pretty quick and agile shots.
Yeah, Billy Bridges, who is a guy from PEI, he can shoot the puck with one hand faster than some NHL guys can do it with two.
Well, he's got a real quick release, and we noticed that in the games that we've covered so far. So Redding will come in to take the draw. Lies on his outside right from the draw. It was pushed back inside the corner. They're going to go after this one and chase it back around. Calvert goes after it. Calvert gives it back to Duguay. Duguay comes inside. Calvert runs a bit of a pick on Lies that time. Good pick play showing right there. Now they come all the way around the far side. Waiting for it. Team Ontario coming all the way out. They dump it back out the middle part of the ice this time to Swafford, and Swafford comes out to center. Redding bumps him off of the puck. They continue to go after it. Bly comes inside. They're starting to throw their weight around out there on the ice, Benny. They come back inside. Duguay lost his footing. Waits, gets back up, goes back after this one. Now they'll pick it back up again, and they'll grab it. Team BC on the attack. Up to center ice area. Cross ice, back around on the left side. One extra move offside, and that was Redding that was offside. He sort of looks up at the roof going, I knew that. You can see that frustration on his face, Ben.
For sure. The one thing with Ontario, they're starting to pick up their speed here, which is how they're going to beat BC is with their speed. So BC, you notice, is getting a little more physical to try and cut down on that speed and not let them get too many offensive breaks.
Well, the speed is what's going to help both teams today in the game. And, of course, they both started out really quick and really agile. From the draw, Osborne goes after it. A bit of a collision course on the far side. 360 spinorama. Robert Holm was turned inside out. Now they go back the other way. They're trying to get control of it. I think it was Stephen Bly lost his stick, gets it back, and goes back in his own half of the ice. Osborne's going to go after it. Couldn't get control. Now they pick it back up again, and Stephen Bly will pick this one back up. Trying to clear it out. Kept on side again. Kaufman comes inside. Now we have a stoppage. A couple players collided. The referee is over there really quick. That's the one thing we'll have a chance later on. We're going to be talking to Sean Raphael, who is the referee-in-chief for BC Hockey. Talk to him about the rules, the development, and what the referees and the linesmen had to do to get themselves prepared for this as well.
Yeah, Sportability, who's the organizers of the event, has really done a good job of getting refs in and getting them trained up so that they're really familiar with everything that's different about the game of sledge hockey.
Well, you notice on the draw here, Sandra Lowe will take the face-off draw, and what she's going to do is once she takes it, if she doesn't back out, now she might back out. Sometimes if the linesman does not back out directly to the blue line, they switch and they go back behind the net and they switch sides. And the linesman, the blue line will cross ice, go straight across 85 feet the other way. That way they can get themselves in proper position without getting caught up in traffic. Team BC dumping it all the way out to the neutral ice area. That was Molnar that goes after it. Molnar continues to press. They block, stop. Martin lost this one. Now they go back the other way. Bly throws it back in front again. Well played. Back to Norris. Norris comes in. He misplayed the puck. Now Bly goes back after this one. He grabs it. Norris careful to stay onside. Tried to push him off the puck on that one. That was Riley. A little bit of a bump there, but somehow he managed to stay onside. Well played. Waiting for it. Nice. And there you can see how agile they are and how you can raise the puck so easily. So Riley will pick this one back up for Team Ontario. He comes all the way down. Goes down the left side as Riley comes inside. Holmes a trailer. He chases him back down. Mapes comes inside and stays with him. Gets the shot. We have a penalty called on the play right now by the referee.
And Riley's going to be a key to Ontario's offense here. He's involved with the National Development Program, and he's one of Ontario's real key players. And BC's doing a good job of getting a couple guys on him and making sure he can't do too much.
Yeah, I was wrong on that. I assumed, and of course my wife tells me never assume, but I was wrong on that because I thought there was going to be a penalty. I saw the referee's arm up, but not going to happen. Maybe they just declined the penalty and said they're sorry and they just walked away, Ben. Wouldn't that be nice to do the odd time?
Yeah. It would certainly be nice for BC if that was a possibility.
Yeah, no kidding, it would.
Yeah.
It's in BC. You think we'd be able to make our own rules?
You would think.
You would think, Ben. Heavy check thrown on the far side. That was Norris that took his man off. Back all the way out, right through the front part of the goal crease. Missed it. And it goes over from one side to the other. Heavy collision course. Crane just leveled his man there. Now it goes back. Funny bounce in front. Do they hold on to it? They scramble after it. And I think they're going to say this was a goal. And this will give Team Ontario a goal.
And one of the things that I've noticed with BC is that after that first goal is scored, they kind of let their heads get out of the game. And so it'll be interesting to see how they respond to this and what happens next because BC needs to not let the goal get to them and see what they can do.
Yeah, I just sort of shrugged that off, and of course you can see the shots. The big difference right now, Ben, the shots. Team Ontario are leading BC by a 6-1 margin in shot difference right now, and of course Team Ontario comes out and scores the first goal of the game at 6:25 remaining, period number 1. So from the draw at center, they pull it all the way back this time. Osborne comes up from the blue line to get control. Osborne, it was inside the blades on the sled right there. Now they give it across ice over on the far side one more time. Dylan Kett will go after it, and they go offside. And now I think we have an interference penalty. So now I'm correct on this one. Now we do have a penalty.
Yeah, it looks like will we get some 5-on-4 action, which will open some things up a bit for this game.
Yeah, once you get more open ice, it sort of benefits everybody. So they go over on the far side. They're going to sit in the penalty box, and Team BC will go on a power play, Ben.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see how these guys do. They've spent a lot of time in the box, but I haven't seen too much of their power play. Bruce Redding here will take the face-off, and he'll look to win it back to the defenseman and get a point shot, generate a rebound, and try and get a dirty goal here.
So Redding and Duguay, the two of them on the face-off location. Redding actually won it. Now it goes over on the outside right post this time. They just swat it. Chris Wood was the goaltender, or is the goaltender for Team Ontario. Cleared it out all the way over this time on the far side. Mapes picks it back up. Mapes backs to Norris. Norris comes in, takes a wrist shot right there, misses the post by a couple of feet. Now it goes against the boards right side. Redding comes inside, gets collided with just below our broadcast location. It was thrown back out in the neutral ice area once again by Swafford, and Swafford goes after this one. Duguay comes inside to try and get control. Mapes steals it now. Mapes clears it back out. Duguay gets control, throws it back inside with Mapes chasing this one back down, as well as Molnar. Molnar comes inside. It's a beneficial bend to shorten your bench partway through the game to give the guys to give the players a little more strength moving forward in the second and third periods.
Yeah, it's certainly beneficial. You want to keep your star players in the game and keep them active because the lactic acid in the shoulders can really build up if they break for too long. So it's really important to keep the guys moving.
That's the key right there, because I could see how they could easily get themselves tired, but it's dumped all the way down the ice. It goes inside the zone. Team BC pressing, going after it. Osborne stays with his man. Collision inside the corner on the far side. That was Molnar that collided. Molnar, Osborne, the two of them come inside the corner. A couple of other players come inside to help out as well. One of them was Martin. Martin fights for it. Now Team BC pressing, trying to get control, knock it back out. Riley gets control. Riley stops, looks, takes it. Riley gets hit. Heavy check thrown right there, and I think Riley, is going to be getting the penalty on the play right there. Indicated we've got a delayed penalty called by the referee. Another collision course over on the far side. The sound effects are remarkable back here. Blanchard steals this one for Team Ontario. Throws it back across the line over on the far left side. Martin comes in, back in front all the way out again. Trying to pass it across again, and we have a stoppage. And a penalty, I think, is going to be assessed this time. A boarding penalty going to be called by the referee.
Yeah, it looks like we'll get to see how BC does here as we get the boarding call called. And of course now BC very important here to win the goal and get the puck out and get the puck into the other end. Can't let Ontario spend too much time in the offensive zone.
No, that's the key right there. They're going to have to maintain possession or get possession right from the draw if they can. So sitting in the penalty box is Bruce Redding. Coming in to take the draw will be Matthew Norris. Norris takes it, pushed it straight forward. Now they give the cross-ice pass all the way back out to the blue line on the far side this time, and Blanchard goes after it, unable to keep it onside. We mentioned earlier on, Blanchard, the captain for the team, for Team Ontario. He throws the cross pass back all the way over to Curtis Duguay, and Duguay clears it inside. Couldn't keep that one onside. Everybody's hollering. Communication is such a key part of this game right now because you can't necessarily look behind you normally the way they would in a regulation hockey game because you'd put yourself off balance, I would think. And they go in and they score a power play goal, Ben, so they get one more.
Yeah, Ontario certainly starting to put on the pressure here, and they're starting to play their game, which is a very, very speedy game, and they like to get everybody involved, which is a real interesting part of their game. A lot of these guys, they play together all year, so they're quite familiar with each other, and that certainly helps with the cohesiveness of Ontario's team. And It'll be interesting to see now how BC responds to this goal.
Yeah, because they're down by 2, and of course they're not out of the game at all. Still 2 goals. That's not a lot. Coaching staff on the far side for Team BC. James is having a discussion with the referee. Not sure what the discussion might be about, but I think it was possibly about the penalty that was called on the boarding penalty and how they were going to sort that one back out. And of course, James Gremmel is the head coach for Team BC. We should make mention right now.
And he's also a member of Canada's national Sledge hockey team. He's a guy from Quesnel. He's down here for the tournament, and he's a real asset to the development of BC's program here.
Quesnel, BC, been up there a lot. Used to go up there and referee the Quesnel Kangaroos. Of course, Anybody that's listening in from the Quesnel area, the interesting part about that is you'll be very familiar with the Gassoff family, because Gassoff family are a real integral part of the community up there as well. Just a reminder, if you are listening in, you can send us a note. Send me a note on Twitter. My Twitter handle is just @SportsWave. Let me know where you're listening in from. If there's any shout-outs, birthday wishes, Mother's Day wishes, we'll pass them on for you. So send it to me. It's just real simple. It's @SportsWave. That's my Twitter handle, and we'll give a special shout-out to you and yours on this special Mother's Day championship final day for the Canadian Sledge Hockey Championships from the Richmond Olympic Oval in Richmond, BC. They get control of it. Kett throws it straight forward, going after this one. A little bit out of the reach that time, and Picton couldn't get control. She comes back inside her own zone, waiting for it. Ontario turns, clears it back over on the far side, back all the way out to Duguay. Duguay takes his time, back down the left side. Duguay across the line, going inside. Stefan Bly stays with him, goes in, forces him against the wall, pushed him. Duguay continues to press in the corner. Also coming inside to help out in the corner right there was Evans. Kyle Evans goes after this one. Forced him wide to the outside. Duguay goes after this one. Duguay takes a swat at it. Was blocked and knocked to the blue line. And Picton goes after this one for Team Ontario. And Picton chases it back down. Also chasing it inside is Stefan Bly. And we have an icing call, so might just as well slow down and get a breath and they'll go back the other way. So good tempo, Ben, and it's fun to be able to come out and call this game with you. I'm really a pleasure to do.
Same to you, Steve. And one thing I want to bring up here is you'll have noticed that we said the name Evans a couple times, and that's because Dwayne and Kyle, they're a father-son duo. They're on Team BC, and that's something that's really special about the game of sledge hockey is that able-bodied folks can come out and enjoy the sport and play as a family or with friends.
I thought you were going to say it was because they paid us. Got a couple of shout-outs I'll get to real quick in the next short little while. They've sent a note. Jill Bennett, Bonnie Crozier, and or Quebec, like the tweet that we were all mentioning. Hope they're enjoying the game. Coming to you from Richmond's Olympic Oval, home for the 2010 Olympic Speed Skating Championship. Back in the corner, Team Ontario pressing once again. They're up by 2. They cleared it back out, but nobody was at the blue line. Now they'll chase it and turn and go all the way up ice the other way, and it goes back inside the zone. After this one is Blanchard. Blanchard throws it out in the neutral ice area, trying to pick it back up as Swafford, and Swafford throws it back down the other way. Turning, Sharma comes after this one now as Sharma goes after it. So we're getting our monitors set up. I think that's okay, Ben.
Yeah. The instant replay will certainly be helpful for our call.
I wish I had instant replay when I was refereeing hockey a lot of times too, but it wasn't going to happen then. So they go back one more time, and they'll pick it back up, and Riley will go in the corner with us. And cross ice right through the front of the goal crease, and they'll go after this one. And Martin tried to pick it back up. Martin goes after it. Pressing, they go in the corner. Shot right on goal. Stopped again. Nice play, and Bonneau made a huge, remarkable stop and kicked that one all the way back out. Now it goes on the blue line over on the far side. Calvert pinches in to try and get control. Evans goes after it. We have 1 minute remaining in period number 1 right now. They're all pushing, fighting for it. Bumped off of the puck. Mapes was the one that comes inside. Now they cleared it. Mapes throws it to the blue line area. Chasing it down will be Picton. Picton will come inside. Shoots it off of the backboards. Riley goes after this one. Challenges after it. Now it's dumped back in the neutral ice area. Waits. Bly picks it back up. Picton goes after it. And it's stolen once again by Ontario. Taking a huge shot. Nice raised shot by Gabriel that time to get that one, and it was blocked in front, deflected in the corner. Now Team BC coming out to the neutral ice area, chasing it back around. Norris goes after his man. Waits, pushed off of the puck. Now they continue to go after it. This is Bruce Redding comes out, throws it straight forward. Bit of a collision back by Norris, and you can see how you talked about the collision earlier on, Ben, and that can be a real key for the game. Nice shot, right on goal, big save. Well played, but boy, was that ever a solid one-timer on that one right there. And no mistake, and Chris Wood got that one. That could have been one that could have got them within one, Ben.
Yeah, Chris Wood, he's doing a real good job. He's kind of sort of been in the backup role the whole tournament, but he got brought in last night in the game against Quebec, and it looks like the coach has decided to let him run with it and see what he can do. And he's certainly having a good game so far.
Well, sometimes you have to have a lot of confidence in them, and of course, you get to this level, naturally, they're going to have a lot of confidence.
and he was the starter last year, but he's taken on a backup position, and he's back in the starting role now.
Yeah, but the key for that is he's playing. That's the key right there for success. And, of course, the first period's come to an abrupt conclusion. Team Ontario leading by a 2-0 score so far, Ben. But we talked about the game and the way it's played out. What a remarkable the way it's playing out right now. Fast start to the game. And of course, for people watching it for the first time, they're really unfamiliar with, I guess we'd say unfamiliar or uncharted waters. They don't know what to expect. But it is an Olympic sport. We should make mention of that. It was actually started going back it was actually originated by two gentlemen in Sweden.
Yeah, certainly an interesting sport. It was originated by, war veterans that wanted to continue to play sledge hockey, or play hockey rather, and so it's certainly got an interesting background. And I want to take some time here, Steve, just to say a thank you to our sponsors.
Most definitely.
So I want to say thank you to YVR Airport, Via Sport, Richmond Sport Hosting, the Province of British Columbia, WestJet, Sportability BC, BC Hockey, Freshie, and Boston Pizza. So, a great group of sponsors that are certainly helping to make this tournament possible.
Yeah, and sponsorship is such an integral part of all sports events, but special thanks to everyone for being a big, huge part of this, because it's something that is really, you and I talked about sponsorship, Ben, and I mean, it's such an intricate part right now of the game, and not everybody wants to get involved, but in sponsorship, basically because people say, well, you're asking for money. But the other part of that is if people want to get involved, not just at this sport, I always ask everybody, I always like to thank the volunteers. The volunteers are what I call the unsung heroes in the world of sport. And I ask everybody openly, when was the last time you ever saw somebody walk over to a volunteer and say, thanks for your time for volunteering? It's not needed, or it's needed, but it's not done enough.
Yeah, for sure. The volunteers have certainly been integral. And what's been interesting is that BC has a development team program. And a lot of the guys that are on that development team are here, helping out to make this tournament happen.
Well, you need them. You need the support. You need the start. Are you giving me them back? I'm giving these programs away. Everybody's bringing them back to me now. I can't lose them.
I have a couple. I was just double checking the guy's name for him.
Okay.
Hadn't met. What's it? Trevor. Oh, wrong team. Sorry. TPC. Trevor Adelman.
Yep.
He plays out of Cornell with.
The coach?
Yeah. So he came down for development camp. Nobody played with him before. So Brandon and I are on the BC development team. I'm the goalie.
Don't go away. I'm going to turn my wireless mic on real quick because you're here. No. You're not leaving me that easy. You're here. First off, we'll get you to introduce yourself.
My name is Carol Martin. I'm the development team goalie, or one of the development team goalies.
Benny and I were just talking about the development team in BC. Tell us about the program and how a person would get involved with it.
You could get involved in Surrey through their Play It program, as well as at Hillcrest Rink in Vancouver. And they have drop-in hockey, drop-in sledge hockey on Fridays. And you can come in and pay, and they have all the equipment, and give it a try and just get involved. And then in the fall, they have a development camp where people try out for the different teams, and you sort it in.
How did you get involved with the program?
Well, I was active in a program at Hillcrest, and we were doing 150 things for the 150 celebration, and we went out to try it, and I fell in love with it. I slid out on the ice, and I giggled for an hour, and I had a great time.
I've been told by a lot of people, I have never personally been in a sled, but I've been told by a lot of people that if you get knocked over and the sled turns sideways, it takes a bit of time to get back up.
When you first start, it can, because it does take a bit of upper body work. But when you first start, your blades aren't as close together as they are for these fast guys on the ice. So you have a little more time to get yourself up, but it means you don't tip all over as quickly. True. So as you get stronger and you get a better core, you bring the blades together, it can be a little easier, but it's a nice workout, or a really good workout. But the biggest thing is, when we started, there were people to help you if you couldn't get up. So, and there's always a teammate to help you if you have a little trouble with that. So it wasn't a problem at all.
Not at all. And of course,
No.
you were talking about playing out of Hillcrest for those that are familiar in the Lower Mainland. And if you haven't been in the Lower Mainland, Hillcrest, right next door to Nat Bailey Stadium, home for the Vancouver Canadians. Single A team for the Toronto Blue Jays. We should make mention of that one. Won 4 championships. And of course, Rob Fay, my good friend of mine, Rob Fay, the broadcaster, wants him to do, another championship so Robbie can get another ring. Benny, can you hear what I'm saying?
I can.
Okay,
loud
is there
and
anything
clear.
you would like to ask?
I'd like to ask, what's your favorite part of?
I think it's a bit of the community and the teammates, but it's a little bit of exercise and the speed of it. I enjoy all parts of it. I've played as a forward player as well as in goal, so enjoy all aspects of it. And it's a really great workout.
Keep going.
And my second question to you is, what would you say to somebody that's looking to try sledge hockey but is a bit nervous about it?
What would I say?
To somebody looking to try sledge hockey.
I would say to come out and give it a try, especially when there's a beginner group, so it's not as fast. And I would say just come out and give it a try, because at that level, there isn't that speed and that concern about contact. I know that's something some people are concerned about, but it's not really an issue. So I would say give it a try. I just, I think it's addictive. I think what do I say? Reverse integration, able-bodied, non-able-bodied, everybody plays. It's great fun, and I would say there's nothing to lose.
Thank you, Kayla.
No problem.
Appreciate your time. We'll let you go back, and you can sign autographs now. We'll let her go.
Brandon's job.
Oh, that's Brandon's job. So it's nice. It's interesting. We were just talking about that. About people getting involved and with the program and the development program, how it's working. So it's nice to have her swing by really quick. I don't think she expected me to give her the microphone though and have her talk.
No, we certainly caught her off guard, but she's a real key to the development program. It all starts with the goaltending, and she's a real good goalie, and it's great to see people get involved, all ages, all abilities, all everything.
And you've got a lovely young lady standing right beside you to your left. You can maybe do an introduction with her and an interview with her too. Oh no, come here. We can turn the microphone back on. Benny wants to talk to you.
All right.
You can hold the mic. Here, you can even sit down in my chair if you want. I'll move. You stay there, Ben. I'm
7 minutes.
You go. Okay, can you talk for 7 minutes? I'm sure you can.
I unfortunately kissed the Blarney Stone.
I don't know how to answer that, but I'll let you carry on. Go ahead, Ben. Take over.
All right.
So can I get you to say your name?
Karen McKittrick Twaits.
And how are you involved in sledge hockey?
So I'm lucky enough. My son Brandon is playing sledge hockey and has been playing for a couple years. He's part of the junior development program. And I'm here this weekend as a volunteer helping out with scorekeeping.
And how did Brandon get involved in sledge hockey?
He lives, breathes, and dies with hockey. So when he was a kid, it was just, I want to play. He has cerebral palsy, so for him being up on his legs, he has awful balance. And so he knew that regular hockey wasn't it, and we knew about sled hockey, and we got him in, started playing when he was 8 years old.
And how old is he now?
Turning 12, so he's played almost 4 years.
So you can ask a guy that. You can never ask a girl how old they are. You'll learn that, Benny. But I want to just really quick. I just want to throw in. You talk about his disability. How difficult was it for the family to accept? It must be. It's got to be such a hard.
So you know what? Someone told me a great story. There's a poem out there, and when you're pregnant, you think that you're going to land in Italy. And you're expecting, the meals, the art, traveling to this wonderful place, and that's what you expect. And then when you have a child with a disability, it's like when you get off the plane, you're in Holland.
Yeah.
It's not terrible. It's just not what you signed up for. So what you do is you throw out one set of expectations and you develop a whole different set. And then you realize when you look at people, we're all abled and disabled. It's the choices that we make. Just because parts of your body may not work like everyone else's, you make a decision. And you can equally look at able-bodied people and they undermine themselves every single day. So who's really disabled?
Yeah, no, that's very well true. I remember when my wife was pregnant for my daughter, of course everybody says, oh, what do you want, a boy or girl? And one day I was at my dad's house and Dad said, it doesn't matter. As long as the baby's got 5 fingers or 10 fingers and 10 toes, and it's healthy. Doesn't matter, boy or girl. You know, you get what you get. You dealt what you get with, and you know, just love the child, and you know, they'll do what they want to do. And I've got my cousin's daughter back in London, Ontario, has cerebral palsy, and she was born with it.
Yep.
And she's, I guess, Kelly Lynn right now is probably about maybe 38, and she's just as healthy as a horse. And if you go over and say, "Oh, I'm so sorry," she'll say, "Why?"
And why?
Yeah, that's what she'll say.
exactly
She'll
it.
say, "Why?"
Yeah.
You know, and you can play, like we're listening to country music right now. You could play a country music for her, and her memory is a lot sharper than mine. She knows every word. Play it once, turn it off, and she could sing every word.
Yep.
And she knows it all. And you know, I mean, it's disability. It's only a word.
It's
You know,
only a word.
It's not meant to be challenged at all.
No.
No, not at all. Not at all.
No, I truly believe it's all about attitude. And every single one of us has a choice to make when you get up. How do you face it? How do you
No.
face life? Even if you don't, everyone has challenges.
No,
And so, yes, it's building that team around you. It does take a village, and it's learning how to ask for help. And if you don't get help from certain people, you move on.
Yeah.
And you dig deep and you find a different group.
We can ask
And
that to, you know.
This is an amazing group.
Oh, it is. They're a good group. We can ask Benny. Ben, what's been the biggest, you know, adversity you've had to overcome personally?
You know what? I don't even think about the adversity. I just think you know, sledge hockey. It's a community, and when you're on the ice, nobody has a disability.
No.
No, and they all hit hard, and no one holds back because you're out there and you're a hockey player. Male, female, able-bodied, disabled, it really doesn't matter. You're a hockey player out there, and it is a fierce game.
I like the fact that they've got both men and women playing on the same team.
Absolutely. And you know what? When you look out there, you don't know if
No.
it's a man or a woman playing until you see a ponytail, and that doesn't necessarily mean anything either.
Not nowadays, it doesn't. No, it
Definitely
does not at all.
Yeah.
Then you just look at me and say, "You're old." That's all there is to
Not
it.
at all. It's called well-seasoned.
You have to talk to my wife. That's all there is to it. Well, thank you for your time, and
Oh, you're very
really
welcome.
appreciate you being so open and honest with us.
Oh, it's a pleasure talking to
Okay,
you.
thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of the tournament, and Benny and I are here. Swing by, say hi to us whenever you want.
I will. Absolutely.
Okay, thanks very much.
I'm in there.
Oh, you're over there. I know that. I time kept the mine. It's interesting. I time kept a hockey tournament here last week, and while we're waiting for the ice and more so the referees, the players already, but I time kept the game last week in there, and the players were absolutely at the hockey game, the tournament. They were confused because the gates are so wide, and they didn't know why. And I kept saying, okay, you know, the one gate actually, the one closest to the Ontario bench, wouldn't open, so they all had to sit in the other one. So when you put two players in the penalty box, the referees were the ones that were more confused. I mean, they're going to fight. I said, no, they won't. I said, they come in here, they'll be fine. I said, this is the way we used to do it in the 60s. You'd go in, you get a penalty, and you'd sit in the penalty box beside each other. 2 minutes in, you're talking to each other, like no big deal. So what? It's hockey.
You leave it out here
Yeah.
99% of the time.
Wishful thinking, yeah.
Sometimes it does spill over, but the reality is you got to come and go.
No, that's true. Well, you do a good job in the timer's box, so I'm keeping track of the clock and all that. And
Yeah, we're getting there. We've gotten better over time.
takes time. It's not an easy task.
No, the first, I would have to say the first time because we did it for the March tournament, it's like, but you get there, right?
You do. The biggest thing right there is something happens in your timekeeping. I always tell all the timekeepers, something happens in your timekeeping. If you're not sure, hit the horn, call the referee, say,
absolutely.
just wait till I get it solved, because I've seen. They're well-seasoned referees with BC Hockey because Sean Raphael's got them trained. But the other thing for that is I've seen timekeepers get in a hurry and agitated and trying to put a time up for a penalty time and put it on the main time clock and clear the main time. So they put 2 minutes on the main time clock where there should have been 8:41 left. And everybody's going, well, how much time is left? And they're going, I don't know. So it's all about being patient. So I don't want to throw no curveball at you, but
we haven't done that yet. So that's good.
you won't.
No.
Thanks.
Okay, thank you, Brandon.
All right, Ben, interesting. You never know who's going to stop by our broadcast location, just visit the odd time, just to say hi and see what's going on. So it's nice to see that, she's talking about, what her son's doing and where they want to go and play themselves all around. So that's good.
Yeah, it's real good to see kids like Brandon come out and support BC. A lot of these guys, they've never had the opportunity to play at home, and so it's a real cool experience for a lot of these guys to get the chance to play at home and play in front of the good crowd. We got a good crowd of fans out here, and it's real nice to see. And we'll see now. BC is coming out onto the ice for the second period here, and the action is about 30 seconds away from getting underway here in the second period. BC will look to come out strong. Forget about the first period and look to have a strong start here as we head into the second period shortly.
Well, I guess that's the biggest thing is now, Ben, all they've got to do is just move themselves and focus for going forward and not worry about, the first period. First period's over, it's done, don't worry about it.
Yeah, and they always say a 2-goal lead is the most dangerous lead in hockey. So it'll be interesting to see how BC responds. And Ontario will have to keep up the pressure. They can't let up here. They got to stay focused on the goal in hand. A bronze medal is still a pretty good accomplishment.
It is. It's a solid accomplishment, which is nice for for them to achieve and see if they can come out and work it that way. That's going to be good for them. So it'll be fun. But right now we're just waiting for the officials to come back on the ice. And as I say, we're waiting for the officials. Here they come. It's almost like coming down through door number 3. The Price is Right. They have made their way through the door, Benny. They're coming back out onto the ice right now. And of course, all 3 officials. I mentioned earlier on that we're going to get a chance to talk to Sean Raphael, who is the refereeing chief for BC Hockey, formerly the BC Amateur Hockey, and now known as BC Hockey, which Sledge Hockey is an interesting and integral part of as well.
Yeah. It's a partnership that we've been building for a few years now, and it's really valuable to have Sledge Hockey under the BC Hockey umbrella, and it certainly helps the growth of the game.
Well, it helps the program grow. It helps develop it, and of course, what a good marketing tool, because BC Amateur or BC Hockey now are under the umbrella of Hockey Canada. So that's a huge bonus right there.
Yeah, and BC does have some Hockey Canada representatives. You look at number 21, the defenseman Peggy Asnick. She's on the women's team for Team Canada.
So we have dropped the puck, and period number 2 is underway, and they will go after this one, chasing it all the way back down inside the corner. They're going to try and get control. Team BC pressing as they're working inside. Robert Holm, the first one in there. Robert Holm ends up bumping with Calvert. The two of them bump behind the net, both number 7s. Now they go back. Waits, Team Ontario will throw this one back out to the neutral ice area. This is grabbed by Duguay. Duguay comes out, clears this one inside. Mapes goes in, tries to stop it, deflects off a stick, goes on the outside of the post on the right side, and they just clear this one, and Beno throws it back behind his own net. As they hold on to it, now it's back out to the center ice area once again. Norris goes after this one. Norris tried to take it away this time from Picton. Picton had control. She was bumped off the puck, but she's just a little thing, and she just continues to go each and every way she wants to. There's no mistaking where she wants to go. In the neutral ice area once again. They grab it. Solid check throwing, and they cleared it inside. Going after this one, Duguay comes inside again. Duguay stops, looks, goes back. Duguay still in control. Takes a high shot over top shelf. Puts it top shelf on the right side. Huge high shot right there. Take a look at the replay on that one right now.
Yeah, and there's certainly nothing Phil Bonneau could do about that. Real high shot. It's real hard for Sledge Hockey goalies to reach up high, and if you want to get a guaranteed goal, the easiest place to put it is in the top corner.
Yeah, and it's difficult to raise it as well with those sticks. Maybe when we start our next game, we'll have the luxury of borrowing a stick from one of the players real quick and just happen to show it as to what's taking place and what the sticks actually look like, because they're a different design stick. It's a hockey stick, but it's just designed a little bit different.
Yeah, the curve is certainly real important. A lot of the guys like to have really curved sticks, which helps to lift the puck.
So they throw it back inside, going after this one. Blanchard comes inside. Evans goes in. Evans falls against the wall, picks it back, himself back up. Now continues to go out in front of his own net, playing tough, very tough defensively. Now they fight for it, lobbed it. Keeping it on side is Team Ontario. And the one that managed to keep it on side was Martin. Martin threw it inside the corner. The first one coming in. It's on the outside of the post. They're trying to get control of it. Getting himself back up and sorting that was Beno. And now they get control. Waits. Evans throws it out in the neutral ice area. Good solid play to clear it back down the ice the other way, and they cross inside the zone. Fighting after it. Trying the centering pass. They go after this one, and Gabriel was one there. But Evans stops at the blue line over on the far left side. Throws it back inside. Good play by Evans to keep it onside the blue line area from the left side point. Waiting for this one as Team Ontario circling inside their own zone. The one going after this one is Molnar. Molnar tried to steal it. Unable to that time, and it goes back, and Martin gets control for Ontario, and he comes inside the zone. Pushed off of the puck, very heavily checked off of the puck right there. Blanchard's in front of the net. Norris has it. Riley stays with him. Going back, continuing to go back after this one. And we've got a couple players collided in front of the goal right there. Evans was one of them.
Yeah,
Beno fell.
Evans just lost an edge there and slid in into the goalie, and we'll have a stoppage here. And one of the players I want to highlight for Ontario is a fellow by the name of Colton Martin. He's a real key player for Ontario. Again, involved with the National Development Program, and he's real key to their success in this tournament.
Colton Martin wearing number 17 for Team Ontario. As they get control, waits. Swafford goes after it. Now it's back, bounced in the neutral ice area. And Calvert will go after this one for Ontario. Molnar comes inside. Evans is the trailer for Team BC. Evans pinches inside, tries to get control of it. Fighting for it, off of the boards. Bly is in there. Asnink is just below our broadcast location right there. You were talking about her earlier on and what she adds to it. She's more or less reading the play from the back end, keeping everybody out of their own zone. Now they stop and turn. Waits. They chase it back over. It's over against the boards on the far left side. A couple other players collided once again. Tough to be calling interference on a game like this when sometimes you have to really know what they're going to go and what they're thinking about doing.
Yeah, it's certainly a fast-moving game, so the refs really have to pay attention, and they can't miss anything. They can't blink, or they'll miss something.
No, and it's a little difficult to say the referee's out of positions because they're not. They have control. Calvert takes a huge high shot over top of the goal, going back around, waiting for it. They keep it on side. Nice play at the blue line to keep it back on side, and this is Bly that picks this one back up for Team BC. He throws it all the way over to Norris. Norris throws it back cross pass right there. Collision course, penalty coming up, might be interference. And we were just talking about how difficult that might be to call interference, but no, I think they're going to call it body checking.
The one thing I want to highlight here about Ontario is I've mentioned a couple times their cohesiveness. The real interesting thing about Ontario is their sledge hockey program is kind of like able-bodied hockey out here. They're represented by 7 teams here, and so they have a real strong program, and a lot of young guys, a lot of guys under the age of 25 on this roster.
Yeah, that's what Todd Sargent was mentioning earlier on when I had a chance to talk to him pregame, was the fact of the young players and how agile and what they can actually do and how they add to their program, and no different from what you were just saying about it. From the dock, goes all the way back out to blue line, kept on side on the far side. Asink had control. Now she throws it back, waits, deflected. It was blocked and stopped in front. Redding goes after this one. Puck goes out in the neutral ice area. They stop and turn, and Duguay misplays this one, but they go inside. Offside in the play. The one that was actually offside in the play on the play right there was Robert Holm, number 7. He was about 3 feet inside the line.
And the interesting thing with Bruce Redding is for years he's kind of been the star centerman, but lately he's been transitioned onto defense because he's a real fast player, and Coach Gemmel believes that speed is important on the blue line.
Speed's essential, of course, for all games. Now it's cleared all the way down the ice. Icing was waved off by the linesman right now, and they are killing the minor penalty. So it goes back in the corner, far side. Team BC on the power play right now. 5-on-4. Duguay turns, retreats, goes back. Redding comes after this one, trying to get control of it. Norris was out of his reach. Now they go back the other way, and they pick this one back up, and Mapes has it. Mapes, cross ice, back all the way out. Back on the left side, trying to get it back to Redding, but it's kept onside the blue line area by Blanchard, who rips it off of the back wall. Funny bounce all the way out in front. Now they grab it and cleared it the other way. Nice play to get control of it and cleared it out in the neutral ice area one more time by Asink. And boy, that was a funny bounce. Icing called on the play as it's cleared from one end to the other, so we should have a face-off back in the Team BC end zone with 58 seconds remaining in the power play for Team BC.
The boards are quite lively here at the Oval, so sometimes you put the puck off the boards and you're really not sure where it's going to come out, and we just saw one of those funny bounces, but luckily it stayed out of the net.
It did. It substantially stayed on that. Now the two players will line up. And I was going to ask you a question about face-offs earlier on, and I will next chance I get, because that face-off clearly showed it. High shot over top of the net this time, and they'll try and pick this one back up again. That was Blanchard that got the shot away. Blanchard's pretty susceptible to making pretty high-raised shots right there. Now they pick it back up again, throwing it out in the neutral ice area. Overskated the puck, waits, they stop, and they turn, and they go back the other way, and Martin lost his stick, but he has to retreat now. As Martin goes back down the other way, inside his own zone. As they all turn after it, it goes deep inside the corner. 9:42 remaining, second period of play. Team Ontario leading Team BC by a 3-0 score right now, and Team Ontario also killing a minor penalty. It's kept onside the blue line area right there. Riley stops, turns, holds on it. Riley circles, throws it underneath the sled. Now it goes back over to Blanchard, far side. Blanchard comes inside. Gabriel comes inside. He was pushed off the puck. Gabriel continues to challenge after this one and go after it, and Picton pinches in from the blue line. Picton almost got run over on the far side by Norris. She continues. Now she's backed out. Waits. Gabriel goes after it. Misplayed the puck on the far side. Evans and Blanchard, the two of them collided over on the far right side wall this time. And they're trying to get control of it. Out in the neutral ice area, rolled eventually out there. They eventually got it out there. So now it goes back the other way, inside the zone. They'll chase it back down. Bit of a pushed off of the puck right there. Solid check thrown on the far side right there, and that was Blanchard that was on the giving end of that one. And Ontario worked away inside. Good play. Calmon comes in, takes a shot, got it with a blocker. Well played, and that was Beno that got that one with a blocker. A high shot that wasn't going to go back. Used his blocker to his advantage in that one, Ben.
Yeah, he's got a real good blocker side, and that's certainly advantageous. And the interesting thing in sledge hockey for the goalies is they've got spikes on their blocker glove, which helps them move. So a lot of the time they have to keep the glove down, and he did a real good job of reacting fast and getting it up.
Yeah, very much. Real quick reaction time, and of course a lot faster than I am too. And of course I would never be a goalie. I've got two goalies in the family, and I'm not going to be the third one. Believe me, if I'm going to get puck shot at me, I'll go out and referee a game, and that happens quite regular, just because they like to take advantage of me. So they go back the other way, and they have control back at the center ice area. They're going inside once again. Kett comes inside. Now Kett goes back to the neutral ice area trying to get control. Holm goes after it, and it goes on the far side. It was delayed offside, nullified. They had to tag themselves back up, and the puck goes back inside the corner behind the net. Well played off of the boards. Norris stops and turns, goes back, circles inside his own zone this time. A minor penalty is expired. Teams are back. Neither team capitalized on the power play or the shorthanded situation right there. Molnar goes after it. Calvert throws it back over on the far side. Crane gets control for Team Ontario and throws it inside the zone. Now it's dumped out to the neutral ice area. Well played. Again, Molnar gets it on the left side wall, throws it inside. Goaltender Chris Wood is directing traffic from the back end. I can see him. He's telling everybody where they should be positioned and where they should think about going. It's on the far side again. Everybody's coming in, and Norris goes after it. Team Ontario clear it out in the neutral ice area. Nice play, well played block pass right there, and Swafford goes after it. Swafford collided on the far side with Stefan Bly that time. You have to take a quick look. Sometimes you look at the gates, and even though they've got the clear boards over there, it looks like the gates actually open up. I'm looking on the far side. I'm watching him go in. Matthew Norris was going off the ice. Looked like he was holding his left shoulder. So we'll have to see and keep our eyes peeled for him to see how he makes out. Waiting for this one. Evans throws it back the other way. Gets himself back up on the sled. Now it goes back the other way. Turning. Ontario pinches inside, trying to get control. Evans comes in. Bumps with Swafford. Over on the far right side wall, and Molnar grabs it. Molnar in the neutral ice area. Past Osborne. Redding goes after this one. Bly is the trailer. Molnar's in there as well with him. And they go down the ice all the way deep inside the corner. Bruce Redding comes inside. He was collided with inside the corner. Molnar is there. Molnar tried to circle this one and throw it back out in front. Bly is in front, pushed out of the goal crease. Actually knocked over on that place right there, and the puck goes against the boards. We have a quick stoppage to play. 5:47 remaining. Team Canada leading by a 3-0 score, and right now Team Ontario leading by a 10-3 shots.
And so we were talking about goaltenders being vocal, and that's really important because the goalie has the best view of the ice. So it's really important for a goalie to be vocal and loud because that can certainly help the players get into proper positioning, which is key to the defensive structure.
Well, the goaltender on the ice for hockey is like the quarterback for a football team. They're the ones that see things from the back end, and they really direct everything all out.
Exactly, and you wanted to ask me a question about face-offs, so I'll let you do that.
I will. First chance I can, because that was a different face-off lineup pattern. That's what I want to talk about. So they come inside as they go after this one. Gabriel comes inside. Riley's in front. Out to Riley in front. Going in. Taking a backhand shot. Big stop by Beno. Oh, Beno turned sideways and blocked that one from going in over on the short side, far side. They continue, and Gabriel comes inside. Gabriel overskated the puck. Never got control of it. They're all pinching after it. Bly comes inside. Molnar stays with his man. Now they go back. Norris circles at the blue line. Now they throw it back in front to Gabriel. Goes in, takes a shot. This shot was blocked. Grabbed it. Blanchard takes a shot. That deflected wide over on the far side. Now they all turn. Pinching inside is Picton. Picton comes inside. Bly steals it from her. Now they throw it straight forward. Kept onside. They continue to go in, and Gabriel comes in. Takes a flip shot all the way back out in front again to Martin. Now it goes straight out in front of the goal. Turning, block, stop right there. Evans comes in, takes his man off the puck. A couple players collided. One of the sleds fell completely sideways on the play right there. Hassink's trying to get herself back up in the play. Another one's tipped in front of the goal, and the referee's watching the play unfold. Now finally blows the whistle and stops the play, and we have a quick stoppage. Now I was going to ask you before I forget, Ben, the face-off lineup procedure. For the first period, I saw pretty much the players lining up for the face-off, and they were both sitting the same direction. Other times, the last couple of minutes in this period, we've seen the players face different directions. So, it's whatever the players want to do, right?
Yeah, it's totally up to the players, and if they're facing a different direction, the defensive player will have to spin around and so that he can get on his man. So it certainly is sometimes beneficial to be facing a different direction for an offensive zone face-off.
So we'll take a look at this one, and we'll see how they line themselves up. Comoon is coming in for the draw for Ontario. And Redding is the other one. So both number 16. So now you look at this one, both centers facing up the same direction. I guess it's the better side, or whatever side you get better preference on for taking the wins or the draws, probably.
Yeah, the interesting thing is players use two sticks, so they have to be able to use both hands, and a lot of them are pretty good at that.
Comoon comes inside, waits. Mapes couldn't get control of the puck. Now they go back the other way, and Holmes steals it, throws it all the way over on the far side, gets control of it, rips it off of the wall, and it bounces all the way back down in the Team Ontario end zone. Right on goal. Icing is waved off. We've got about 4 minutes and 2 seconds remaining in period number 2. Now they get it out in the neutral ice area once again as they chase it back down. Mapes couldn't get control of it. Hassink has control. Now she just throws this one straight forward. All the way back out to center to home. It goes right through everybody. Completely eluded traffic. Now they go inside the zone again. Calvert stays with his man. Bumped off of the puck on the far side. Home, Calvert, the two of them collided over on the far side wall. Now they pick it back up and go up ice the other way. And Duguay stole it. Duguay straight out to the middle ice area. Carefully played. We have a delayed offside indicated and called by linesman Sandra Lowe. Made the quick call.
And passing is certainly something that's pretty integral to the game of sledge hockey. And you have to be real good about getting a tape-to-tape pass, because these guys don't have long sticks like they do in able-bodied hockey. So you really have to be an accurate passer when you're making a stretch pass like the one we just saw.
Well, they can slide it right underneath the sled from one side to the other without even batting an eye. They do it so fast.
Yeah, that kind of stick handling is certainly important, and a lot of these guys can do it. Like second nature.
Pretty much, eh? So Mapes had control. Now Mapes goes after it again. Shot on the far side. Hassink went inside. Osborne pinches in from the blue line for Team Ontario. Going after it. Osborne was calling for it. Couldn't get it back. Nobody saw him or heard him to give it back to him. Now Swafford comes inside the corner. Swafford's bumped off of the puck on the far side by Norris. Norris stays with him. Now they go back the other way. A bit of a race ensues. They're both going back down. Molnar comes inside. Molnar going down with Osborne. Who's going to get it first? Molnar was the first one in there. I think we're going to have a tripping penalty coming up right now by the referee. And no, it's going to be a hooking penalty. Regardless, I guess 2 minutes is 2 minutes, right, Ben?
Yeah. It doesn't matter what it is. It's 2 minutes is 2 minutes, and and it'll be interesting to see as these guys start to get tired and start to slow down a bit, whether or not we see a few more of those hooking calls called here.
Well, sometimes the hooking calls, they can prevent a goal. Other people have said in the past that hooking can be like a little bit of a lazy penalty, but sometimes you just have to reach out and pull them back in and hook them down. So again, just a really quick mention that if you're listening in, wherever you're listening in to or from, let me know. Send me a note on Twitter. And my Twitter handle is just @SportsWave. I'll give a shout out to you. Special welcome to all the mothers on Mother's Day, regardless of where you're listening in from. Hope you're having a very pleasant Mother's Day and you get spoiled and pampered. Right on goal. Nice stop by Chris Wood again. Wood hasn't been tested a lot so much, Ben, but he's only, I think I'm looking right now, I think I can see it's either 4 or 9. It's got to be a 9.
I'd like to think so. BC doesn't get a lot of shots, but the ones they do get, they do make them count. They're high-quality shots.
The key is just to get the shots, though. That's the number one. Evans shot it far side. Now Evans has to go after this one, trying to get control of it a second time. They'll pick this one back up. Penalty coming up. Oh, a heavy check thrown behind the net. And now we'll have another penalty indicated by the referee. I think this is going to be interference. I saw the interference signal, Ben, so I'm guessing on this one.
And that was an example of, some of the hard physical hits that you can see in Sledge hockey. And we'll get things even up here a bit.
No, this is going to be another penalty going against Team Ontario, so this will be a 5-on-3 advantage. So
yep.
Two-man advantage for Team BC.
And BC will really have to take advantage of that if they want to keep this game close. They'll have to get lots of shots on Wood.
That's the key right there. Just see what they can do. Just keep hammering shot after shot on Chris Wood. And, of course, players coming out. Referees having a discussion with one of the players from Team BC. Not sure what it's about. I don't think it's anything too serious. Talking to Molnar. Nope, correction on that one. He wasn't. He was talking to Bruce Redding. So now they'll call themselves back in. Redding's coming inside to take the draw this time for Team BC. Two-man advantage right now. Two-person advantage for Team BC. See what they can do for a good minute and 30 seconds. Ontario steals the puck. They work their way back down. Riley comes in, pushed off of the puck. Now we have another penalty called this time. It's going to be going against Team BC. So this will be a holding penalty. So it's going to be a 5-on-4 situation right now.
And that's certainly an example of, how fast Ontario is, down 5-on-3. It's not a good situation, but they managed to, break out and get a real good offensive opportunity. And now they get to see what they can do 4-on-3 rather.
Well, 4-on-3, we talked about how it can change really, really quick, Ben, and it has indeed changed. So go from a 5-on-4, basically a 5-on-4 to a 5-on-3, and now it's a 4-on-3. So it's interesting the way it's all played out so far. So they go back the other way, and they'll have it against the wall. Waits, Redding, collision course over on the boards. Redding slow to get back up. Do we have another one? I think they called it on the offside on the player right there, so it wasn't kept onside.
And these guys certainly aren't afraid to throw the ball. Redding is a good friend of mine, and I talked to him. He's a little bit banged up with the shoulder, but that's certainly not affecting him here today.
The thing that told me that he was doing fine on the ice was the smile on his face. Even when he was talking to the referee, he wasn't frustrated or mad. It was just a good, solid play on the far side.
Yeah, a lot of these guys, even down 3-0 like they are, they're still having a lot of fun, which is the main thing for the guys on BC.
Well, that's what it's all about. Different level, different sports, different caliber players, but they all come to play, and, of course, both young men and young women together playing the game. So nice to see. Minute and a half remaining, period number 2 right now. So it's dumped down the ice. Icing waved off as Riley picks this one back up. Riley's trying to circle it all the way out in front. Waits. Molnar cleared this one wide. Now it's kept onside the blue line. Trying the back pass. Blanchard throws it back over to Riley on the far side. Redding comes after him. Holm comes inside. Three-way collision course on the far side. They twisted and turned and fell upside down, but managed to get themselves back upright and go back up ice the other way. And as they go back up ice the other way, Blanchard will intercept it. Blanchard back out to the neutral ice area. carefully played. They straddle the line, and we'll explain the offside call probably first chance we can. Might be at the end of the period, but first opportunity we'll explain what the offside's all about. Now they throw it back all the way over on the far side. Martin steals this one. Now Martin works his way inside, waiting for it. One minor penalty's expired, so we're playing 4-on-4 situation right now for another 20 seconds, and then Team BC will be shorthanded. Not for long, about 15 seconds, but they'll still be shorthanded nonetheless. Holm gets it past Duguay. It goes down the ice. Icing indicated and called, so a long drifting pass goes all the way back down. 6 seconds remaining, Ben, and the minor penalty for Team Ontario.
And we were talking about the offside call, and what's interesting is you might think that it would be the toe of the Sledge that would call in offside, but it's actually the skate blade, which is something that's certainly interesting.
It is. It's the blade that's directly sitting right underneath the player. So it's not the front edge, because I can see the front edge being really, really different. Because would you not have, if you got a taller player, they'd have a longer sled?
Yeah, they would. A lot of these guys, are double amputees, so that they have a shorter sled. So that's why it would be the blade of the sled to call an offside.
So Team BC are shorthanded for 5 seconds. Mapes throws it back down to Redding. Coming inside, Molnar comes inside as well, and the minor penalties have all expired. So Team BC back to full strength. Straight out of the penalty box. Going to go after it. Huge heavy swat, and I think he's going to be going back in the box. And Norris will start period number 3, going right back in the box. Not sure what the call is going to be. I was trying to pick up on the signal on that play from the referee, but he comes straight out of the penalty box, Ben, and a little bit of a collision course ensued right there, and he's going to make his way back over, and another rest to start period 3. Not what he wanted, Ben.
No, not at all. But the one thing about Matthew Noyes is over the last year, he certainly developed the physicality to his game, and he's not afraid to make the big hit, even though he's one of the younger guys, one of the smaller guys out there.
Well, one of the smaller guys, but coming out of the penalty box, when I watch him come out of the penalty box, he really exploded out of the penalty box. So, a good burst of speed coming back down, helping everybody out. So nothing wrong with that. So the teams are going to well-deserved rest, as will the officials. They're all going to go over. They're going to move the nets, get themselves back, and, of course, they will come back. And when they come back out, Team Ontario once again going on the power play. Let's talk about the program back in Ontario in general, the growth of it. It started back in Ontario a substantial time ago, a long time ago, and it just continues to go and grow and get bigger and better. And, of course, coming from BC, our program out here, it's pretty much, I guess, program out here. We're slowly learning and getting better, but it's going to take a while to grow it to the level of Ontario.
Yeah, Ontario, the interesting thing I was saying earlier is they actually have a sledge hockey league of a bunch of teams, and so it's certainly something to aspire to for us folks in BC, and BC's got a good program developing, led by guys like Matthew Norris, who are the future of the sport here in BC, and so when BC plays teams like Ontario, they see, this is what we can become in a few years' time.
Well, we were talking yesterday, you and I, about just the fact that we have 4 teams competing. A couple of other teams, you were telling me, unable to make it this trip?
Yeah. Last year's tournament featured 6 teams. We had an additional team from Manitoba and one from Nova Scotia, and unfortunately they were unable to make this year's tournament, but it's still been a fantastic tournament.
What do we know about the programs in both of those provinces?
They're kind of similar to BC in that they're still developing, and so they're still in the baby stages, which would have certainly helped BC get a win or two, but they're still developing.
Well, you got to start small, go with baby steps, see if you can grow it, getting bigger and better, and indeed they will. But it would be nice to have some more teams, compete. But 4 teams is better than 2.
It certainly is.
Two is only a game.
And you know what? The action has been great regardless.
Yeah, it has. Now we talked about the program and the teams, and you and I were talking off camera earlier on about not only this event, but next year's event is back in Ontario.
Yeah, it'll be the first time actually that Ontario has hosted the event. The first 2 years of this tournament have been in Alberta and Quebec, respectively, and so next year's tournament we'll be headed to Ontario, and I guess you and I will have to see if we can make the trip out.
I would go in a heartbeat. I think this is great. Just get me there, and I would be just thrilled to do this again. But this is a blast, and it would be nice. Never mind doing just the final games. It'd be nice to call all the games. From the opening face-off.
Yeah, it certainly would be nice, and action has just been so fun, and I've really enjoyed seeing all 4 teams grow and develop. Just even throughout this tournament, we've seen a big change in a lot of these players and teams.
Yeah, we've seen a change. I had the luxury of coming out, and of course you've been here a little bit longer than I have, but I've had the luxury of coming out and watching the games on Thursday and taking the games in, or pardon me, on Friday, and watching the Team BC as well as, I didn't see Team Ontario practice, but I saw Team BC play, and boy, oh boy, you talk about, a big, not so much a learning curve, just a change in the whole game plan, the way they've turned it around.
Yeah, James Gemmell has done a real good job of, getting these guys to focus, and, towards the beginning of the tournament, they suffered a few big losses, but they've done a real good job coming into the third period. They're only down 3-0, which is a huge accomplishment for the team, and I would say that James is pretty happy with the effort and the result he's getting from his boys so far.
Yeah, I think he should be. And I think it's only appropriate right now that we make mention of the rosters, not the players' roster, mind you, the coaching staff roster. Team Ontario coached by Todd Sargent, assistant coach Rob Hogue, assistant coach Brad Blanchard. The therapist is Jason White, the team manager Americo Morey, and the equipment manager is Ralph Swafford. Now, it's interesting, when I was looking at this, and I was looking at, and I saw the therapist, I guess it was the team manager. Team manager that I actually saw for Team Ontario, they've got the same person listed for the team manager for Team Quebec.
Yeah, that's certainly interesting there.
It sort of caught me off guard, but it wouldn't. That happens. Conceivably, it happens. So we'd made mention of the Team Ontario, so I'll let you name the coaching staff for Team BC roster.
Yeah, so BC is led by James Gemmell, Quesnel BC native, and he represents our country at the national stage level. The trainer is Manivinder Sandhu. Safety person is Jody Leung. She's quite involved with the program based out of Vancouver. And then our team managers are Jade Werger and Ross McDonald from Sportability, who have done a great job of, organizing this tournament and putting it together.
Yeah, Ross is wearing 2 hats this weekend. He's busy from start to finish. Every time I see him, he's all over the place.
Yeah, they've certainly been running around, keeping this thing on the rails, and they've done a real good job so far.
Well, the other thing that they've really, you talk about keeping it running smooth and cool and calm and collected, the one thing they've really done is kept the schedule. Time-wise, all the games are starting right on time.
Yeah, we had one overtime game at the beginning of the tournament between Quebec and Ontario, but despite that, they still kept everything running on time, and which is, as you would know, certainly a tough thing to do sometimes at the tournament level.
Oh, at all tournament levels, it's tough to keep games going on. You talked about overtime. What are the overtime rules that everybody should be aware of?
So it's
primarily me.
So it's kind of the same as regular stand-up hockey. There's nothing too difficult. It's the same as the stand-up hockey.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
so
the only change would be the 15-minute period instead of the.
Would they in a championship such as we're watching today? I'm assuming that will they keep going, or will they go one period and then a shootout?
I would say that they'd go one period and then a shootout in a championship game like today.
Okay, so being naive to this, the shootout, it's pretty much the same. You would start from center ice area?
Yep. Start from center ice and.
Wow. Talk about survival of the fittest. Holy heavens to Betsy. You really gotta be agile, and I can see that if it was going overtime, I could see a coach possibly maybe shortening their bench in the third period to save his players for the shootout.
Yeah, that's certainly something that we could see. possibly in the later game.
Wow. Yeah, this is pretty good. So I know everybody's over here. They're trying to get your autograph because Ben's such an important person. So just to let everybody know, when Ben is not here, what you do when you're not here. You're at NW.
Yeah,
Big NW.
I'm over at CKNW Radio as a talk show producer.
And I guess the interesting thing is it's always tough to pick a topic that you want to talk about.
Yeah, no, certainly involved with all sorts of things over there.
Yeah, and there's a lot of things that are you know front and center in the world of not just politics, but just front and center. But you're not having as much fun as they are in the States.
No, none at all.
that's a heyday down there. But regardless, they're having fun. It's great. It's great to be involved in this, and nice to have it. Players. The one thing I've really noticed is a lot of team chemistry. Very solid with what they want to do all the time. They know it.
Yeah, and I believe we have a young fellow over there that would like to come and be interviewed by us. So I'm gonna step away here for a second.
You can stay there. You can talk to him.
And I'm gonna go and get him and bring him over here. So
Where is he?
He's the young fellow in the far white chair.
Oh, just beside me?
Yeah.
Oh, I can get him. You can just keep on talking.
Oh, fantastic.
And I'll even let you talk to him.
Fantastic. Young kids are certainly the future of this program, and we got a young fellow here that.
I can give him my headset too.
Fantastic.
I can do that.
Yep.
Grab a chair. We're going to make you a superstar here. Money's not included, though, so you're saving lots of income tax. Hang on.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. Can I get your name?
So I'm Mateo Pellizzari.
And how are you involved in sledge hockey, Mateo?
Yeah, so I've been playing for 6 years now. I'm a bilateral below knee, so I have prosthetic legs, which is a big fancy word for fake legs, I guess you could say. So yeah, this has kind of been my sport for a long time.
So you've been playing for 6 years. How old are you?
I'm 11.
You're 11, so you've been playing since you were 5 years old.
Yeah, kindergarten.
How did you get involved in sledge hockey?
Yeah, so my friend's brother, who's in a wheelchair, he used to play it. So, and then they told me, and they were like, oh, since you can't really, skate, because, it's a little bit harder for me, they were like, maybe you should try this. So I tried it, and I was like, wow, this is really fun. And, yeah, from there, it just kind of went out on its own.
And so what's your favorite thing about sledge hockey?
I just like how it's so, fast-paced, because, I love just things that go, bang, bang, bang. You always have to, adjust to whatever to do anything on the spot, right?
Yeah, and how are you enjoying the action this weekend?
Yeah, it's really fun. Cheering
Yeah?
for Team BC.
Yeah. Are you happy with how the guys are doing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Who's
not
your,
the best, but
Who's your favorite player?
well, I play with all of them, so can't really say my favorite.
So you like them all equally?
Sure.
Yeah. When are we gonna see you at one of these tournaments?
Well, 2 years if I can.
Yeah, 2 years.
I hope so.
Well, I'm certainly looking forward to it, Mateo.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Mateo, and best of luck to you.
Thank you, yeah.
So I guess before I let you go, I want to ask you, how has sledge hockey impacted your life?
It's just been kind of my opening to sports almost. Yeah, sure, I do swimming and volleyball all with my school, but this is kind of my sport that I do with a team, and I've learned with people, I've grown with them, and I've just kind of become a player, if you get what I mean, kind of.
Yeah, totally. And so you mentioned you played with a lot of these guys. Are any of them real good mentors for you?
Yeah, for sure. They're all really good at the game, and they're all really nice people. So if you have someone to look up to like that, it's really good, yeah.
And
sure.
I guess there's a real good sense of community with this team then.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, real big family?
Yeah, it's almost exactly, a big family of mine.
That's awesome, Mateo. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me today. And
thank you.
And hopefully I'll see you on the ice in a couple of years.
Yeah, I hope so too.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Mateo.
Okay, bye.
Yeah. So that was Mateo. He's a young player here at the sledge hockey program here in BC, and he's certainly one of the key pieces to our future here in BC. And it's real nice to see the young kids come out here and support some of the guys that they look up to on the BC roster. And we're just about 2 minutes away here from the third period. The officials are back on the ice, and the teams are starting to get ready for the third period. And in the third period, what we'll like to see is BC keep doing what they're doing, and they're only down 3-0, which is a good position for them to be in. And Ontario will want to come out hard here and just put a lot of pressure on Team BC to capitalize on this and have a good third period. I'll look to see Wood have a good solid third period and see a couple of the stars. Garrett Riley is a real good player. Brendan Blanchard, Rod Crane, Anthony Colmoni, and Colton Martin. Those are some of the players that represent the development team for Canada that are on Team Ontario. And of course on BC we also have a couple of development team players. We've got Trent Seymour, who's unfortunately out of the game with a shoulder injury, and we've got Matthew Norris, who tried out for the development team this year, but was unfortunately not able to make it. And before we resume action here to the third period, I just want to take some time just once again to thank our sponsors. So I want to say a huge thank you to YVR Airport, Via Sport, Richmond Sport Hosting, the Province of BC, WestJet, Sportability BC, BC Hockey, Fleshy, and Boston Pizza. And of course a huge thank you to all of the volunteers like young Mateo, who we just heard from, that are having a huge impact on this tournament and making it possible.
So how did he do?
He was a real good interview. One of my favorite people to talk to.
Was arranging our interviews with. So when this game finishes, we have our game stars. I made arrangements for we talked to the referees, and they're going to bring or ask them each game star from each team. They're going to come over on the ice, so we'll grab our wireless mic and I'll be go down and do an interview with each game star for the team as well, following this game. So
look forward to that. Then that'll be real nice.
It should be a lot of fun. Just to talk to the players and the team and get them to promote what they've got and how they're doing it. And it is. I was also talking to Sean Raphael, the referee in chief for BC Hockey. He'll be our guest after the first intermission in the next game as well. So we've got lots of people coming over to visit us over here in the broadcast location.
Yeah, we're certainly very popular folks here.
Well, they're coming over. The only thing they've asked me for is money, and all they're doing for you is asking you for your autograph. So I think you got the better part of this deal right there.
I think so.
So the third period is underway, and Team Ontario will break inside the zone as they go back down, as they get control of it. Just shot it off of the boards. They're all going to go after it and grab it one more time. Ontario pressing inside. Riley is the one that's inside the corner. Riley was the first one inside there. Now they're trying to circle and throw it all the way back out to Crane to the blue line. Unable to get it to him. It was just a little bit out of his reach. Now they grab it again, fighting for it. Crane goes inside. Also inside the zone is Martin. Martin chases it back around. It goes on the far side. And we have a quick stoppage of play and a whistle. Only played about 37 seconds into the period. Period number 3, we should make mention.
Yeah, it's going to be real interesting to see if BC can maybe get a goal here. They scored their first goal of the tournament last night from Kyle Evans, so it'll be interesting to see if they can get a goal here.
That will be. That'll be pretty remarkable if they can get one on the board right now, just to sort of get themselves back in the game. They're not out by a lot, but down by 3 nonetheless. So they cleared it all the way back around this time. It goes to the neutral ice area over on the far side boards. And chasing this one back down will be Crane. Crane inside his own zone. Dumped it out to the neutral ice area. Evans goes after it, takes a swipe at it. Went underneath his stick. Couldn't put his stick on it substantially to get it back down the other way. Now they'll turn in the corner one more time as Ontario continues to press. Fighting for it. The defensive player pinched in from the blue line area. Taken off of the puck, that time by Evans, who stayed with him. Now they go back. Waiting for this one, and again it goes back out to the center ice area and grabbed by Ontario. That's Ontario. Crane has control. He throws it back over cross ice all the way back over to Riley, and Riley goes after it, but it bounces back out, and Crane will chase this one inside his own zone for Team Ontario over on the far right side boards. Circles a long stretch pass. Back out to Duguay. It goes down the ice past him. Icing indicated and called with a face-off. Back down inside the Team Ontario zone. Still trailing. Well, in the penalty department right now, they get 23 seconds. And they are on the power play again.
And BC's penalty kill has done a real good job so far, not letting Ontario get too much action. So the penalty kill has certainly been important to BC's game so far.
Well, that's the key right now, and you've got to give BC a lot of credit because they've really continued to press hard and fight really hard. And they've literally held Team Ontario off the board other than allowing 3.
Well, yeah, and that's something that's quite impressive because there is a huge gap in the skill difference, but you're not seeing it today.
Yeah, very much. Isn't that so true? So they have control of it. Shot at far side. It's picked up in front of the penalty box area. Now they turn, circle, grab once again, and Swafford goes inside. He throws it in. Waiting for this one. Holm has to stretch to get control of his stick. That's the thing. It probably seems easy for some individuals to do if you just had the Sledge tip over and go back after it, but when that's out of your reach, that's tough to get control, especially if you lose your stick, Ben.
Yeah, and the ice is slippery, obviously, so that can certainly pose a little obstacle when a player does fall over. But some of these guys can just pop right up like nothing happened.
No, they're pretty agile. Now it goes back out in the neutral ice area. Ontario having control of it. This is Swafford that has it. Threw it back inside the Team BC end zone. And Asink will go after this one. She'll pick this one back up behind her own net, then bumped off of the puck. And it goes over in the boards on the far side wall once again. Team Ontario pinching in, trying to get the shot through. Blocked, stopped it back at the hash marks over on the far side that time. It was kept onside by Picton, who Picton was pinching inside. Now they continue to go after it. Stolen again. Waits. Swafford takes the shot. Now we have a whistle by the referee, and I think we have another penalty called, a holding minor penalty this time by the referee, Ben.
Yeah, another holding call. So we get another little bit of 5-on-4 action, which is certainly something we're seeing a lot here towards the second half of this game.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of 5-on-4 action so far in the game right now, but regardless, it's entertaining, very entertaining, I should make mention. And if you've never seen a Sledge, sorry, Benny, if you've never seen a Sledge hockey game, well, check out with your local municipality or city and go on down and find out where they play and take a game in, because if you think this is easy, come on down and give it a try. So from the draw, they pulled it back this time. Redding was the one that won that draw. Now Redding goes over, stays against the wall over on the far side this time. Reddy actually bumped with Como this time, and the two of them collided. Now the puck goes the other way, and Team Ontario have control. They throw it out in the neutral ice area once again, and Osborne comes inside. Osborne throws it back over left side boards this time. Well played this time. Calmon comes inside. Also coming inside is Duguay. Duguay went after this one. Osborne moved in from the blue line on the far left side. Now they go back over on the left side boards once again on the right side. Calvert picks it back up. Calvert throws it behind the net. Osborne gets collided. Him and the boards ran out of room. Didn't know who was going where, but they pick it back up. And BC dump it out in the neutral ice area. Now they get control of it. Just throw it all the way down the ice. And, of course, they're killing the minor penalty. So no icing is going to be called in the play right there. And the first one coming inside the zone after it was Bly. Bly goes after his man, looks, waits, fell down, rolled out of the sled, now gets himself back up, goes back up ice the other way. Osborne's the trailer for Team Ontario. He couldn't get control. And now we have I think they're going to call for too many players.
It's certainly an interesting aspect of the game of Sledge hockey. They've got ice in the benches, which makes a line change easier, but sometimes we do see an instance of, too many players on the ice.
Well, they go in one gate and out the other one. That's the easiest way. It's pretty much the equivalent to a line change for lacrosse. Lacrosse uses the same line change as well. In one gate, out the other. Offense and defense. I guess that's what they basically call it. So there was face-off. Not sure what the whistle was, but that's because I'm not familiar with the rules, and I'll apologize for not knowing them front and center. One sport I've never refereed. Refereed a lot, not this one. Mapes goes in, takes a shot. Calvert goes after this one over in the far right side this time, and Norris comes inside. Norris pushes his man off the puck, Norris continues to go back in. Calvert comes in and lays a heavy check against the boards, taking him off of the puck. And boy, oh boy, I don't think that Norris expected that check. It's thrown down the ice. And we have an icing call again, so no line change permitted on the icing call. So you talk about tiring the boys out. Boy, oh boy, are they ever.
Yeah, they're starting to get tired here, and BC's starting to get a little bit undisciplined, but, it's not affecting things too much here because they're still managing to kill off the penalties.
Well, they've substantially killed off a number of penalties right now. We have seen a lot in penalties as well. 28 seconds remaining in the minor penalty. You can see the players lining up different directions. Waits, Redding couldn't get control of that draw. Now it goes back the other way, and Martin got the draw, threw it out in the neutral ice area. Martin goes back after it. Martin and Mapes, the two of them, bumped and collided back all the way over, this time on the left side. Inside the zone. Circling behind his own net, trying to get this one was Redding. Now Redding comes all the way out the right side going after it. And they wait once again. Redding comes inside a second time to go after this one. They go back. Trying to challenge after this one. They're pinching inside once again. Mapes goes after his man. Waits in front of the goal. Going in, scramble far side. Missed the outside post on the right post that time. Unable to capitalize on it. But Team Ontario throwing virtually everything at him but the kitchen sink right now, Ben.
Yeah, they're getting a lot of shots, and, Phil Bonneau, he stepped in here and he's done a real good job. One thing I liked from James, he made sure that Phil was active throughout the tournament, and that if a situation arose where he had to be called upon, he wouldn't be called, and that certainly benefited him.
Well, indeed, really benefited him, and substantially too, which is what he was looking for too. So from the rock goes all the way out the blue line area, cross ice pass, back around the left side wall. They grab it. Blanchard comes in, takes a shot, and buries one home. And that puts number 4 on the board for Team Ontario.
And Blanchard's been a key part of Ontario's game here today. He's just been everywhere on the ice, and he's certainly been a candidate for the MVP that you'll be interviewing towards the end of the game.
Yeah, we're looking at getting a couple of interviews. One game MVP from each team. We'll just step on the ice in front of the players' bench just over to our broadcast left right now and get the players come over, have a bit of a discussion with them, and let them talk about their thoughts on the game and the overall tournament in general. Because it's a big national championship for the teams, and of course you've got to give them an awful lot of credit. 2 players behind the referee cheated. Both of them were sneaking in a play like there. Ardini Sharma was the first one coming inside from Team Ontario. She'll go back after this one, trying to get control of it. Now it goes back all the way out to Picton. Picton stopped, gets bumped off of the puck. Sled turns sideways. She gets back around. And we talked about the different size sleds. Picton's sled is substantially a little bit smaller in length than some of the other sleds that we look at out there. And I look at, just to name the one that I can see, is Riley Molnar. Molnar's got a long sled, and Picton's got a smaller one lengthwise, and that's what we're talking about right now.
Yeah, and Molnar, he's an able-bodied player, and he's certainly a tall guy, so he needs the longer sledge so that he can fit his whole body in. And Picton, she's obviously on the smaller side, and that can be an advantage when it comes to turning on a dime and things like that.
Yeah, we've seen that at different other sports. The smaller you are, sometimes that gives you a real advantage. So now Team Ontario worked their way all the way back down. They're going inside. Crane comes inside over in the far right side corner, throws it back all the way out in front, trying to get control of this one. Mapes goes in and steals it as Mapes throws it back. Block cross ice. This is stolen in front of the net. Waits. They're trying to get the shot away, and they'll go back after it again. Sharma comes in, takes a shot, and they bury one home. And I think they're going to credit that one to Sharma.
And BC's starting to let Ontario take control of the game, so they got to refocus and do what they've been doing for the prior 30 minutes here.
Well, we were just talking about Sharma prior to the face-off, just in the neutral zone here a couple minutes ago, about what she was bringing to the game.
Yeah, she's had a real good third period here. She's really putting on the pressure, and it looks like she's getting a little bit more involved in the game here.
Well, used sparingly, because we didn't really see her used first in the first period at all.
No, the coach shortened his bench, and now he's letting guys get involved here in the third period as they have a bit of a lead, so they can just get everybody involved and have some fun here in the third period.
Yeah, go figure. Todd Sargent, head coach from Team Ontario, from London, Ontario, pulling some sneaky little move like that. The nerve of Todd. I'm going to have to talk to him after the game. We had a good conversation before the interview we did, too. Now they come back inside, waiting for it. Calmon goes inside, takes a huge shot and a save. Oh, well played. And a stop by Bonneau to make that one look relatively easy. Now, I should make mention we didn't. Does Team BC have a backup goaltender?
Yeah, so they do. They have Trent Seymour, who is out with an injury. So it's just Phil for today because of Trent's injury.
So what would happen, heaven forbid, with any injuries in anybody, but what would happen if something happened to him and they had to replace him for a goaltender?
Well, likely they'd check in with Trent to see if he could go, and if he couldn't, they'd have to delay the game, get a player suited up. Likely Kyle Gianni, who is not playing today, would likely have to sub in.
Couldn't they just pick a player from Ontario?
I'm not sure if that would work, Steve.
I don't think it would work at all, Ben. I could just see him. Go ahead, shoot the puck. There's the open net. Have a goal. It's a free one. So the center is being thrown out right now. New center, I think, getting ready to come in. Sandra Lowe, the linesman, or nowadays being politically correct in today's world, the lines person, is dropping the puck. See, you didn't think I knew that, did you, Benny? Oh, there was a heavy crunch course in the corner on the far side. Just a noise. No such thing as a noise penalty. They go back the other way. Otherwise, the coaches that teach the players when they get hit against the wall just hit their stick against the boards and make lots of noise, so they get 2 minutes for being noisy. Far side. That's a rule we should adapt out here, man. It could be a BC rule. Our own little BC rules. We've got our own little rule book. Everybody's colliding in front of the players' bench on the far side. Norris comes inside. Also in there helping out is Kett. Dylan Kett goes in, shot it, blocked it, kept it inside in the blue line area, and Holm goes after this one for Team BC. Now goes back behind the goal line, and Duguay will chase it back down. Team Ontario pressing inside. They're leading pretty substantially in the shot department right now. I know they've got 17. I think BC has 9. I'm guessing. I'm not really sure right now because I can't see the numbers on the clock. I have a upright stanchion bar directly in my line of sight. So now we go back. Team BC clearing it back inside, taking off of the puck, waits. They get back up. They looked at the referee as if there was going to be a penalty. Referee just said, nope, not going to happen that time. So now they go back the other way and work their way in. And Calmon comes inside, takes a shot. Huge stave again by Bonneau. And Bonneau comes out, makes the saves, looks relatively easy on the 18th shot, Ben.
Yeah, he's been really active here in the third period, and he's certainly holding his own. He's put in a real good effort here coming in off the bench, and it could be a lot different game if Phil Bonneau was not doing such a good job.
At least he had time to prepare for the fact that he was playing today.
Yeah, they made the decision last night that Trent couldn't go today, and so Phil was able to get a good night's sleep and get ready for this game, and he's certainly put in a heck of a performance today.
Yeah, he has. Now we're waiting right now. There's some little bit of paraphernalia on the ice, so the referee stopped the play. They'll reset it, do it again. Something fell on the ice. Not sure what it is, but whatever it is, the referee took it over to the trainer on the far side. So it might have been a screw out of a helmet or maybe a bit of equipment out of the sled. Not really sure. But regardless, they picked it up. Safety first and foremost. Now it goes over on the boards on the far side. They're trying to get control. This one they do. Riley has it for Team Ontario. Takes the shot. Blocked. Stopped in front. Nice stop again. And Bonneau had that one. Bonneau's playing really well.
He is, and he's he doesn't play much, but he's a key part of the leadership group for Team BC. He's a very vocal guy, and he's quite involved with motivating some of the younger players, and he's certainly a guy a lot of guys on BC look up to.
Well, that's what you need. You need a goaltender from the back end that's going to be extremely vocal. Talk to the players. Mentioned earlier on how they're like the quarterback because they can see everything from the back end. So they're the ones that have to take charge on the ice. Coach can do so much, but they have to. It's a team game once you hit the ice. Back in the corner over on the far side. Garrett Riley had control this one for Team Ontario. He throws this one back out. Colton Martin comes inside. You were talking about Martin earlier on, too, in the game, about what he brings to the game as well, Ben.
Yeah, he's certainly a fast player, and he's involved with the development team, so he's certainly one of the stronger players on Ontario here.
Well, they like to key on some of the younger individuals to develop them for futures generations down the road as well. Martin comes inside. Martin's in the left side corner. Riley comes inside. Centers it back out to Riley in front, going back in front, and Gabriel is in there, and Gabriel takes a shot. This is grabbed by Bonneau. Bonneau holds onto it, then threw it back in the corner over on the far left side. After this one is Martin. Martin tried to get it. He was unable to. Now a collision again. Back in front. They blocked it, stopped it, shot it, and it goes wide again, and Gabriel comes after this one. Also in there is Calvert. He goes in, takes his shot. That was deflected back in the corner over on the far side, and they held on to it. Now they're trying to pick this one back up again, and they hold on to it, waiting for it. Team Ontario pressing, but they've got a line change coming up. Quick player going off the ice on the line change. That was Martin that went off. Extra player comes back on the ice. And now they take a shot again, and Bonneau holds on to it. Bonneau is being under a lot of pressure back there right now. But he's holding the fort, and that's what they're relying on the goaltender to do. And he's really making a name for himself the way he's playing really strong despite the score. Score is not any indication or an indication of the play either, Ben.
No, BC's had a real good game, and they certainly held their own, and it'd be nice to see them get a goal here in the last 5 minutes. So, but we'll see what happens if they can. First, they got to get the puck out of their own zone here.
That's only because you went to Vegas and put money in the game. I know. You get some money on the game here. That's what Ben's working for right now. He's trying to make this extra bonus round. Now they have it back in the corner. Team Ontario pinching inside, going after it. Mapes comes inside. Mapes stays with his player. Now Team BC out of their own zone, all the way back out the center as they have control. Bly comes back down over on the far right side. Bly and Osborne, both number 3s. Waits, referee almost got run over. Have to be alert and agile. You've almost got, if you're going to referee, you've got to be a hurdle jumper as well to get out of the way of the Sledge too, Ben.
Yeah, you certainly have to be paying attention at all times because you never know when a guy could be coming at you.
So I think we have a penalty indicated by the referee. I saw a signal. Faceoff's going to be back in the corner this time, over on the far side. Referee will go back to center in front of the penalty box area and indicate a roughing minor penalty. 2 minutes going against Team Ontario. So this will at least give Team BC a bit of a chance to see if they can capitalize on one with 4 minutes and 30 seconds remaining in the third period of play.
And the real key here is, to get the puck back to the blue line and then just get bodies to the net because they're not going to score a pretty one here. It's going to have to be one of those dirty goals, but they still count.
Yeah, they do. As long as it counts, referee, they don't go to Toronto for the replay on that one. Otherwise, it'd take us too long. We'd be running out of ice time, Ben. Circling Waits. They pick this one back up. A long stretch pass all the way back down, and known after this one will be Duguay. Duguay comes inside, goes over the left side wall as Duguay comes inside, pushed off of the puck by, stays with him. Bly and Duguay, the two of them continued to fight back inside the corner. They're trying to knock the puck loose. Bly still fights for this one. Waiting for this one at the blue line, wide open is Kyle Evans, number 20. Don't think they heard him or couldn't see him to give him the puck, but he was wide open nonetheless. Now they continue to go back again, and Crane calls for it. Couldn't get it to Crane. Now it's on the far side once again. After this one, as they go after it, Waits takes a huge shot right on goal. Stopped. Oh, I see my big buddy Laird out here today. I think he's got his camera. Oh, he does have his camera out there. So they have control of it. Now it goes back over in the far right side corner, so a good play. Now it's out in the neutral ice area. Now it's thrown inside, delayed offside called. Now it's nullified. They go back the other way, and they'll turn and circle and go all the way back out. Team Ontario having a real quick change. BC coming down inside the zone, going in, taking a huge shot. Stopped, thrown back inside the corner, this time by Wood. Wood dumped it over in the left side wall, and it's grabbed and picked up by Redding. Waits back down the ice the other way, and they're going to indicate icing call, but I think they waved it off. They did. They waved it off. 3 minutes remaining in period number 3 right now. I don't know if I see Mr. Evans on the ice at all. Number 4 for the Team BC. As they come across the line, Waits going inside, taking a huge shot. Missed the top shelf right there. Molnar comes inside. He collided right on goal. Big stop, and they hold on this one for another stoppage to play. Good stoppage, good pressure shown by Team BC, Ben.
Yeah, they certainly piled it on here late in the game, and Wood did a good job of keeping the puck covered and not allowing the rebound here as we get set to the face-off. BC still has about 13 seconds here left on the power play as they look to get one, and it looks like we'll have Gianni and Holm and Matt Norris as the forward groups as we get set here for the last few minutes of play here in the third period.
Just arranging. All your autograph seekers are behind me. They want to know what you're doing and what we're going to do. Referees have a discussion with the coaching staff over on the far side. I don't think it's too serious right there, but nonetheless, the coaches keep the referees in line.
That's certainly something that James Gemmell's not afraid to do. Is just to make sure the ref is calling it the way James sees it.
Well, it's funny because when you ref, if you've never officiated a game until this weekend for the guys, it's a learning curve for the officials as well. Never mind, never mind just the coaching staff or the fans or the players. The fans are we're getting a good fan base coming in to support this and take the games in too.
Yeah, a lot of fans and a lot of traveling fans too. I've seen a lot of fans from all of the other provinces.
Very much
here too.
Norris got that high shot away. It was off of the back wall. They're going to go back after it again and try and pick this one back up. Genie was the one that was over there going after it. Waits. Got a couple players out of the lineup, I was told earlier on, for Team Ontario, or pardon me, for Team BC rather. Waits. Norris goes against the boards, as does Holm. Holm goes after it. Osborne comes inside, takes a backhand shot. Now it's dumped all the way down the ice, and they'll go after this one inside their own zone. And Team BC has to retreat after this one. Hassink comes inside. Waits takes a heavy fall off of the back. Just literally fell. Now she's got to go back. And this is what I was saying about how difficult it is to try and get your stick and get yourself back upright. It's easier said than done, believe me, Benny.
Yeah, if you lose the stick, you're certainly like a fish out of water because those sticks are so integral for just moving the guys around.
Yeah, and you can't put the picks in the I guess your fingers or your gloves either, can you? It'd help out, but you can't do it. That'd be against the rules.
Yeah, it would be.
Good idea, though.
It would be a good idea, but it would be a bit dangerous if the guys started to, throw punches, which is not uncommon in this game.
No, not at all. It'd be like a movie made in Hollywood if they ended up doing something like that. Now we have a stoppage of play and a penalty indicated by the referee once again. Going to see, I think we're having a boarding minor penalty called by the referee right now. And going to see, I believe it's... Team BC going to be assessed the minor penalty.
Yeah, it's Matthew Norris that's heading into the box here with just over a minute to go, rather. So BC will be on the penalty kill for the rest of this game, barring an Ontario goal here.
Should make mention real quick that we'll elaborate on a little bit after the game as well, that if you've never seen a game, the benches on the far side, they are flooded. They are solid ice, as well as the penalty box area. It's all ice, same as what they're skating on or playing on out here on the surface.
And that's part of a $25,000 retrofit here to the Richmond Oval to make it more accessible for tournaments like this and future tournaments as well.
Well, they need more of it, and I love what they're bringing to the Oval this weekend as well. Waits shot blocked off of the back wall this time. They're going to go after this one, try and grab control of it. Assink comes inside, takes a shot right through the goal crease. Now it goes all the way back out to the blue line area. They'll pick it up one more time. Picton goes in. Picton got the shot away. Grabbed by Riley. Back out to Picton at the blue line, right side. Picton has control. Mapes comes inside. Shot. Waits. Bonneau held on that one, then threw it over in the corner on the left side this time. Bonneau's playing really solid. Got the one blocker down. The glove is up above his shoulders and head right now. Watching the play. Shot in front. Bonneau holds on to it, stops it, and grabs it. Nice play for Bonneau to hold on that one and save that one back down. Now they'll challenge it back again. And a face-off back in the corner. 16 and a half seconds remaining in the game, Ben.
And Bonneau's done a real good job of not allowing Ontario to get any rebounds. As soon as he gets a handle of the puck, he just covers it up and allows for the face-off because rebounds can certainly be dangerous.
Well, that's the best way to do it this time of the game. Just hold on and, sort of get everybody regrouped right now. Team BC still shorthanded for the remainder of the game, and we've got down to 10 seconds left in period number 3 right now. So they have control. Waits. Another stoppage and held on to this one. Smart move to hold on to it.
Yeah, Bonneau is certainly very aware of how much time's left on the clock and all that. So he's just slowing the game down and delaying the last few seconds here.
I do that too. I'd delay it a lot more than what he is. Believe me, I would. Bonneau's played a solid game. I'm really impressed with his talent that he's had in the game so far today. Now they go back. Waits, shot off of the backboards. They're going after this one again. The clock ticks down. The buzzer goes to end the game. And Team Ontario pulls out an extremely successful victory in this one. And, Ben, they have to be pleased with going home with this trophy that they're getting from this game.
Yeah, Ontario certainly proud here as we see them celebrate. They're certainly happy with the result, and have to give BC credit here. They were competing throughout the entire game, and they certainly have to be proud of what they did here this weekend.
Well, it was a no quit game. They just continued right from the start. They didn't allow. I mean, even though there's 22 shots, Ben, they played remarkable.
Yeah. This is a game where the shot clock doesn't tell the whole story. BC's did really well, and they didn't let up. They didn't let anything get to them, and they kept focused throughout the entire game. So I'm really pleased with their effort.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. It's a solid effort. We talked about the effort that they wanted to do and how they wanted to play and how well they wanted to play, and they did. They played remarkable. I'm impressed with what they're seeing right there.
And again, Ontario was certainly the favorite heading into this game, just because of all the players that they've got on the national development program. So they were certainly the favorite in this game, and they showed it, and a good effort to them as well.
So we've got one player that's getting the award on the far side. Whom is that? Because I don't have it.
That would be Stefan Blaise is going to be the MVP. And Nandini Sharma is there getting the MVP for Ontario. She certainly had a great third period and was really involved there to help Ontario get the win.
Well, I'm going to see if we can get interviews with him. I'm going to go down ice level right now. The linesman's talking to all the players on the far side. I'm going to let you talk, and you can take over for a bit, and then I'm going to go down see if I can bring them over here for an interview on the far side.
All right, Steve, thank you so much. And, Blaise, he was all over the ice today. Was certainly involved in the action and really proud of what he did. And Nandini Sharma, she had a real good third period and was certainly integral to Ontario's success here as we see the two teams line up now. And we'll see Ontario get their bronze medal shortly. And the two teams will line up and shake hands, show of respect, and that's certainly something that is nice to see in this game. The two teams, every game they line up, they shake their hands, and there's certainly a lot of respect, even though a few punches and a lot of physicality are thrown throughout the game, and that certainly is something that's really really important to the game. As my broadcast colleague Steve Erickson interviews with the MVPs of the game, and again a great effort today from both teams, and BC led by guys like Bruce Redding, Matthew Norris, and Stefan Blaise, and all those guys, Dwayne Evans, Kyle Evans. Certainly another good effort, and then Team Ontario led by guys like Colton Martin, Blanchard, all those guys. Certainly a real good game here, and we look forward to the second game just a little bit later on with Alberta taking on Quebec, which should be certainly a physical affair here later on this afternoon at the Richmond Oval. And that game will take place at around 12:30, so just about an hour's time from now. So if you're watching the broadcast and you're thinking about coming out to the Oval, you've got about an hour before the second game here. And we're just waiting now for my broadcast colleague Steve Erickson to get his interview set up with Stefan Blaise and Nandini Sharma of Team BC and Team Ontario, respectively. As they both had real good efforts, and we're certainly key to both teams' success here. And again, real good game. The scoreboard doesn't tell the whole story, as both teams were competitive from start to finish. Neither team let up, and it was certainly a real good effort here. And Steve Erickson is just getting ready to interview Nandini Sharma, and I will let Steve take it away here shortly for his interview with Nandini.
Oh, I really don't want to.
Oh, you're fine. All right, we're joined down here on ice level right now, and Denise Sharma, you got the game star for Ontario. Nice game. You played remarkable.
Thank you.
What was the game plan going in against Team BC? Oh, he wants you to turn just a bit. Are we okay now? Sure. Oh, he's going to talk. That was a practice.
You want to ask me the questions first so I
No.
can prepare my head? No?
Oh, you're fine. Nadine, very remarkable game. And congratulations on the game start.
Thank you.
Did you expect to have such a, I guess, close game with Team BC, other than the score on the board?
I know that they're a great team, so I was just hoping it'd be a good game, but didn't expect.
How long have you
this.
played?
About 3 years.
You enjoying it, obviously?
Yeah, I love it. It's my favorite thing.
What's the big difference that makes it so enjoyable for you to come out and play all the time?
I think it's like the people, the atmosphere, and I love the speed, the intensity of it. Yeah.
What's the thing you take from your game to go to the next level? What would it be?
I think it's my speed. I think like when I get going, I can hold a pretty good stride. So.
No kidding. Anybody back in Ontario you want to give a shout out to?
My home team, I guess.
Where are they?
The Cruisers in
Based out?
Ontario, Mississauga.
Oh, Mississauga.
Yeah.
Okay, good old Mississauga. Nothing wrong with that at all. Okay, well, thanks for doing this. We appreciate your time, and have a safe trip back home.
Thank you so much.
Okay, thanks very much. Okay, you can see our one-game star right now. We can get the other one. I'm not sure whether we'll get the other one over here or not, but we'll get Dwayne over here. I'm going to get my buddy. I'll get Mr. Dwayne over here. Come on over, Dwayne. Come on. Bud. No, easy. So I think you're gonna give me a countdown again. Okay, we're all here. Laird, you two. Laird wants a shot. Okay, yeah, you can come in too. We're gonna get everybody out. Yeah, we're gonna bring all of you. Okay, we're gonna take a look right now, but I think we're trying to get the interviews ready. All right, so now we'll do the interview. Dwayne, nice to come out and see you, albeit, different. I'd rather see you in a coffee shop, but what a great place to play. You and I are familiar with rinks anyway.
Been around the rink for 45 years. This is just a new, different aspect to get out here. Losing legs 5 years ago, come back, play for a sport where I never thought I'd be back and active again, and being able to come out and crush a few players and have some fun while we're doing it.
And, of course, it's nice to have your son playing with you, too.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. Get to watch him score a goal in this tournament was pretty fascinating. Get out there and have some fun together. Never played a team sport together before, so this is it's been pretty illuminating, and it's just been pretty good fun.
Teams had good success, and albeit playing against a strong Ontario team. Did you plan anything different, I guess, going into today's game against them?
Our basic focus is try to check and play a defense. We know that they're a stronger team. It's just try and push forward and see where we can go from there. Group, and we're in a developing stage. Another year or two with James as our coach here, I think we'll be just as competitive as most of these teams that are here now.
Okay, all right. Anybody give a shout out to?
Say Happy Mother's Day to everybody, and Mom, Happy Mother's Day to you too.
All right. All right. I'll talk to you later. Thanks,
okay, thanks, Steve. Have a good day.
Thanks a lot. Okay, we'll bring in Mr. Bly, and Stefani Bly is coming in right now. Come on over. Your turn next. We got rid of Dwayne. I got rid of him. Boy, oh boy, nice game. First off, thanks for doing this. Pretty remarkable, fast game, and for those that have never seen this before, this is really an interesting game.
Yeah, that's hockey. We just play it while sitting, but that's hockey. There's contact, there's speed, and we're not. We're hitting each other.
There's a lot of hitting.
Yeah, that's when people see that when people get hit, they get more scared with the puck, and then sometimes they drop it. That's the idea. That's the same idea as stand-up hockey.
Yeah, very much. Team had a good game today. You played really well going against a strong Ontario team.
Yeah, well, that's my first time. I've been playing for 2 years. It's my first time playing in a tournament like that. I did not know what to expect at all. We ended up losing pretty bad pretty often, but as the tournament was going, we're getting a lot better, and we're gonna start getting ready. And next year we'll be there and we'll be competing for real.
Yeah, very much. Where do you call home? Where do we live at?
Oh, I live in Vancouver now since 2001. My daughter is here. Basically, I got the number 3 because it's our birth year. But anyway, I live in Vancouver, but I'm from Quebec originally, but I've been here for forever.
Oh, okay, all right. Well, thank you for doing this, and what a great game, and congratulations on the game star.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks very much. All right, we're going to turn over to Benny right now, and there you can see our game star, Mr. Bly, was the game star for Team BC. So I'm going to go over to see Benny, and then we'll do a wrap-up from the broadcast booth, and I think Ben's got some stuff that he wants to add to these interviews with the coaches. So go ahead, Ben.
Yeah, well, thank you so much, Steve, and again, a great
game. I strongly urge them to go out and take a game in, drive to one of their local arenas, contact the municipality, the city they live in, and find out where this game is being played, because it's an Olympic level sport, and if they've never seen it, boy oh boy, it's a real eye opener.
And we were talking to some of the development players earlier on, and anybody can pick up a couple sticks and get in a sled and play, because we're open to everybody at this level, and anybody can play. So if you're able-bodied, disabled, young, old, everybody's welcome in this sport.
Well, you heard when I was talking to Wayne about the fact that it's never mind the tournament. It seemed to me like the highlight for this weekend for him was to be able to play with his son.
Yeah, that's certainly a unique, and to see your son score a goal, score the only goal for the team, for the tournament, is something special, and I'm certainly sure that it's a memory that Dwayne's going to treasure for the rest of his life, and the same can be said for Kyle.
Yeah, very much, no doubt they will. So, any final thoughts on today's this first game?
Well, it was a real good effort, real entertaining game, real competitive, and both teams, real strong effort.
Indeed, they were. Benny, thanks for doing this first game with me. We got one more game, so if you're listening in, wherever you're listening in from, again, you can send us a note on Twitter, just at SportsWave, and I'll give a special shout-out to you. Hope everyone's enjoyed the call for the first game of the day, and our next game is coming up with Team Quebec taking on Team Alberta as soon as they get the ice all resurfaced, and then we will be back to action here from Richmond Olympic Oval. Thanks for tuning in. Happy Mother's Day to everyone. Until our next broadcast, if you don't play sport, at least be one.